NyanCave!
Hello.
Good day.
Wow.
Wow.
What a day.
What a day.
time.
Sorry, we're a touch late. A little technical thing,
A
but
little technical. We couldn't get the gameplay. It wasn't there.
You want gameplay or not?
We're
Chat.
like,
okay?
hello?
hello.
Where are you? And it was like,
Not today.
So we had to restart the computer, and it took its time, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
You know, it's not going to take its time.
The
Us.
Except for that thing I played didn't play.
Oh,
That's awesome.
darn.
Do you want me to play the thing?
Can you try? Yeah, the first one.
The first one? Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can try.
I'll
redoing
try.
it. There it goes.
Hey.
I can only ever catch the VODs because time zones are evil, but I just wanted to tell you guys that you are the best part of my day. Third.
Thank you so much.
Croissant.
I only got into AA this year and your LPs have helped me catch up. You three are part of the reason why I love the series so much. Two-thirds.
So good.
Good luck with the tail end of my favorite game. I believe
Oh,
in
yeah.
you.
Oh,
See
yeah.
you all in VOD land in a few hours / every time I rewatch. Revolving
Yes!
Hearts, 3/3.
Croissant.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, this is probably one of my favorite Ace Attorney games ever.
Yeah. Me and Yanni were talking about it this morning.
Yeah.
It's just so good. So good.
Hey, nerds. Got a call back from the vet. The fatty lump on my lumpy fat dog is a benign tumor, and he lives to fart horrifically another day. Yay, Tilda, dog.
Paper dog.
Fantastic.
That is relieving. That he's just a little fatty lump guy. Oh,
Yeah,
he's such
you
a
know.
little squishy, lumpy
It's benign.
Puppy farts, the worst.
puppy
Bleh.
farts.
Thanks, paper doll.
Do I
Much better
spy a
than
Tom in the
pretend.
NyanCave? Good to see you back, Tom.
Ooh.
That's me.
Oh, that's your name. Thank God.
Lilia.
Oof.
Yeah, every morning gets
Yeah.
awkward. I'm like, shit, somebody
Shit.
please
say
donate
his
with his name. What's his name?
Oh
again?
God.
Clay. Ah, right.
Oof. Close one.
Yeah. Sean.
John.
33 months, John. What? Ooh, you got your waffle gun and badge.
Nice.
Oh man, there's a documentary on Netflix about all the movie cliches.
Oh, yeah.
And handing in a gun and badge
Right?
is one of them.
With
Yeah,
Rob
right?
Lowe. I
love
watched it.
that.
It was really good.
Ah, nice.
Unlike you, I'm Rob Lowe.
Yes. At first I was offended, but then I was like, no, that's accurate.
That's true.
These guys are sick.
Potato.
Well, at least I am. But the
Aw.
silver lining is that I get to watch this live with you, Clay, Nyani, and Darren Chris.
Super
Look alike.
potato.
Shoot, now I'm
Look
confused.
alike.
Which one was it? Tom or Darren? Fuck.
I'm the actor formerly known as
All right.
Darren.
Thank you, everyone. I'm
Yeah.
paused for just a little bit. And I'm pretty sure we landed on a report, right?
Yeah, even though that was the one, like, we guarantee it's not report, so it's either an accusation or confession. By the end of it, we're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it
then
can
it could
only
be
be
a
a report.
I'm sending the report.
Okay.
1 HP.
It seems to me that it was probably some kind of report.
Some kind of.
Well, remember what Lord Clint von Zeeks was, that was a well-bred and fastidious man. Knowing the end was near, he probably wanted to tie up the loose ends of all his outstanding business. Oh, no. Well, it looks like we're going to see the
He
game
looks so
over animation.
confident. My brother had no outstanding business. Clint would have had a full account written the instant there was even a hint of something into report.
Okay, so it's a confession.
Okay. Noted.
Damn it.
So
I thought you said we weren't going to waste time today, Clay.
Well, we've wasted enough time. We've wasted enough time. It's clear to me that any further discussion of this case will be fruitless. Barack von Zeeks, I would like to think that however misguided, you acted out of a sense of justice nonetheless. Though it pains me to have reached this conclusion. No. Wait, my lord. In accordance with the findings of this court, I hereby pronounce the defendant, Barack von Zeeks, guilty.
What? You know?
That concludes business. Court is adjourned.
Oh, well, you know what? We haven't seen
Damn.
a game over
No.
screen.
No.
So
Damn it. Almost made it through.
Well, we needed to see it, especially here. But that's got to be such a big feels bad moment. It's like, for sure, we got him off the hook, and then we go with Kazuma. It's like, yeah, we can do this. We can figure this out. And then we don't. And we don't.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
All right.
Confessions. Okay, the other one started off pretty good too.
No, music stopped here. GD
You
knows.
can do this, Mr. Naruto.
I believe that what Lord Clint von Zeeks actually penned that day was a confession.
A confession?
Regarding the mass murderer known as the Professor and his true identity.
Objection!
Enough! Council. What are you saying? Do you even realize? A confession about the true identity of the Professor? That would mean...
Lord von Zeeks, I appreciate this must be hard to take in, but it's the only explanation that fits. Except for maybe a report detailing how it was someone else, but that ship has sailed.
Yeah. We tried.
Yeah. The killer that terrorized London a decade ago and became known as the Professor. The man believed to have murdered 5 members of the aristocracy. Wasn't Genshin Asogi at all.
Ugh. No! You can't be suggesting!
It was in fact the man believed to have been the 5th victim. Lord Clint von Zeeks himself. Run, witness stand, run!
Yeah.
Everyone is upset.
It's finally open, is it? Pandora's box.
The great Von Zeeks family, they've been thoroughbreds of the British judiciary for years.
And Lord Clint von Zeeks, he was a paragon of justice in the capital.
But he was actually a mass murderer, a perpetrator of atrocities of the vilest.
If the general public ever found out the law and order of the remember.
My brother.
Oh, this is too awful. Poor Lord Von Zeeks.
I wonder, though, did he never suspect?
Mr. Naruto?
Lord Barak von Zeeks is a brilliant prosecutor. Is it conceivable that he didn't realize what his older brother was really was? Order! Order in the court! Lord von Zeeks. The Professor made use of an enormous hound as his murder weapon. Tell me, did your brother own a dog?
Scruffles.
Yes. He did.
Oh.
Balmung.
Oh. Oh, you know.
He was a well-known hunting dog. People called him a giant.
Oh.
I don't believe this.
When my brother would go hunting in the forest of the grounds behind the house, he always took Balmung. After Clint's death, the creature passed away too. Almost as if he were following his master. He was a magnificent hunting dog, worthy of the jewel-studded collar around his neck.
A jewel-studded collar.
That's right. Though sadly, some years ago now it was stolen by a thief who broke into the house at night.
A jewel-studded collar. Stolen by a thief. It so happens that myself and my colleagues have come across a collar during our time in London.
How could you?
There was an old emblem attached to the collar, too, made of pure gold. It was topped with a small crown and bore an ornate capital letter B.
What? An emblem bearing the initial B.
You know it?
It's the insignia of the Baskerville family.
Oh? What? The Baskerville? Why is that name coming up now?
Baskerville is the family name of my late brother's widow.
Oh.
That pure gold emblem was an heirloom which Clint acquired upon their marriage. There can be no doubt, then. The color you've described was Balmung's.
Here, I thought it was B for Balmung.
Me too.
The family insignia of Lord Clint von Zeke's widow.
What's her name?
What is her name?
Evie?
Get out of here. No. Okay.
I just like the drama.
There was a considerable amount of blood on the collar when we saw it. Since we know the dog was used for hunting, it could have been from its quarry, of course.
But it could equally have been from human prey.
Yeah, that's why I said it's quarry.
So it's true then.
Clint von Zeeks really was the professor?
Impossible! The Japanese are making it all up and
To exonerate their own.
Yes!
So, in fact, the person responsible for these murders of nobles and royals was a noble himself. And that threatened to be the enormous scandal that would irrevocably destabilize British society.
My father knew that and was using it to negotiate his way out of the unjust charges brought against him.
No, GD, it was the Russian dictator, Bilin Bolshevik.
Obviously.
Bilin Bolshevik.
Bilin Bolshevik.
You got
GD.
crazy
Think.
ideas.
But at the very last hour, those he'd bargained with betrayed him, slaying him mercilessly on foreign soil.
Well, can you deny it, Lord Strongheart? "10 years have passed, and still now, the 6 million inhabitants of our great capital rest easy, believing that justice was done. That though his anonymity remains, the diabolical murderer was caught and executed. Very well then. You may have the truth." Quick, someone say he can't handle the truth, and it'll be great.
Tell me then. Tell me what Clint really was.
Oh, are you going to testify? Lord Clint von Zeeks was too pure of heart. When he became a prosecutor and went in pursuit of the black roots of crime, he drove himself into a corner. He came to the uncomfortable realization that to fight the most fiendish of criminals requires one to be even more fiendish oneself.
Whoa.
Clint.
The 19th century was truly a miraculous 100 years for Great Britain, and indeed, the whole world. New industry, new technology, and with the birth of the Metropolitan Police Service, new law and order. But these dazzling new developments meant even deeper shadows were cast on society. Water sullied by factories, air thick with noxious fumes and crime, growing daily to fill the darkness. Lord Clint von Zeeks made it his mission to combat that darkness. But as time went on, it slowly ate his soul, until eventually he was consumed. It's ironic, really, that's somewhat surprising, that the truth has once again been unearthed by a Japanese.
Once again? What do you mean?
10 years ago, your father, Genshin Asogi, turned up in my office one night. The professor. Yes, beyond all shadow of a doubt, you must issue a warrant to search his home at once. Don't be absurd. The man comes from one of our country's most illustrious families. He's a paragon of justice here in the capital. Yes, that's the point. That's why none of you British can see it. He's using his noble status as a diversion whilst he commits these atrocities behind the scenes. Do you have evidence? Nothing definitive as of yet. But he keeps an enormous savage hound on the estate. We need the full support of the judiciary for this. We're up against a member of the aristocracy. So, a large family estate has a fierce guard dog. You should know that's commonplace here in Britain. I'm sorry, but I can't possibly put Scotland Yard onto this based on the tenuous accusation of a visiting student. So I turned down Asogi's plea. And as a result, he took it upon himself to visit the Von Zeke's mansion on his own. We can only imagine now what happened between the two men. Though we know the outcome, of course, Lord Clint Von Zeke's perished.
I don't believe this.
So, in actual fact, Kazuma-sama's father did...
He made the late Lord Von Zeke's meet the same fate. He put a permanent end to the professor killings by taking the drastic measure of ending the perpetrator's life. As soon as I hurried to the mansion. When I arrived, it was easy to grasp what had happened.
And? What about the will?
Asogi must have already taken it. Nothing of that nature was found at the scene. We had no idea of the existence of such a document at that time.
I don't think this is over, man.
Oh, I think we're making progress.
I think we're making progress. No, what I'm saying, I don't think Strongheart's telling the truth.
Good guy Strongheart looks like a unicorn justice personified Strongheart? I don't know.
He just happened to show up, and figured it out. I think the roles are reversed.
I was the only person who knew of the true identity of the professor. So, I resolved to keep it a secret and to guard the secret to the bitter end. So you're admitting to it, that you were behind it all?
It was you, then, who pinned the crimes on my father.
I did what needed to be done in order to protect the law and order of the British Empire. Even if that meant employing the unforgivable ruse. Then it was you who arranged this fabricated evidence. I ordered that detective to take care of it, whilst keeping the truth from him naturally.
Gregson.
Obviously. He opposed me at first.
Woo!
Are you off your rocker? We can't do something like that.
There's no question that it was Asogi who murdered Lord Von Zeeks. The house staff have made statements that they saw the man running from the mansion that night.
Yeah, well, I've no doubt it was the Japanese fella. But we've got to have a shred of conclusive evidence against the man. And worse than that, he doesn't keep a dog. So we're short on a murder weapon to boot.
And we're short on time, Gregson. We must put a stop to this man's rampage for the good of the country. So we'll use whatever means necessary. Do I make myself clear, Detective?
Blimey.
Everyone looks the same for 10 years ago.
Yeah. Fish and chips, it's the oil. It just keeps his skin saturated.
Oh, absolutely. Apparently people with oily skin do have nicer skin in general.
Oh,
Because the oils.
the oils.
I mean, if you can keep all the blemishes down, I guess.
Yes.
That's the downside to having oily skin.
Yeah.
But the skin in between the blemishes,
Beautiful.
flawless.
Yeah.
Flawless.
I think my skin's pretty oily. I have to wash like 2 or 3 times a day.
Mm.
Anyways.
Okay.
So that night, 10 years ago, when I was attacked by those thugs in the back streets, and Genshin's ring was taken, that was him, was it? That was Gregson and some hired help.
Then the detective handed the stolen ring to Dr. Wilson, who feigned its discovery from the victim's stomach during that autopsy.
And in the light of that decisive evidence, Mr. Asogi was found guilty on the charges brought against him. However, behind the scenes, he had actually already struck a deal with his accusers, in which he agreed to silently accept the charges.
But I just don't believe that part. As far as I knew the man, my father despised such underhanded dealings.
It was extremely easy to make him comply. You see, he had one crippling weakness.
What weakness?
I really have to spell it out for you?
K.
Isn't it obvious? You, Kazuma Asogi. Wow, that's an evil smile for delivering that line.
Not a friendly looking man.
Oh. Haha.
Haha for being born, sucker.
Me?
That's definitely like a he doesn't know smile. Perhaps you have no desire to return to your homeland, Asogi.
What?
Though I hear you have a 14-year-old son. Agree to cooperate and accept your guilt without contention, and you will see Japan and your son again. You scoundrel!
You scamp.
Whether you choose wisely or not, it will be a closed trial by order of Her Majesty. So whatever rash claims you make in court, we'll have no trouble stifling them. There's only one outcome for you, Asogi: the gallows. Don't forget, I still have a weapon at my disposal. A document revealing a truth that I know you're desperate to keep hidden. Yes, it hasn't escaped my mind. Which is the only reason I'm willing to bargain with you. I only want to protect this country's law and order. You understand? Trebek. So, what's it to be, Asogi? Kazuma.
He did it for me.
And as I told him at the time, my motive was simply to protect Britain from the damage the truth would do. To protect this country's law and order at any cost. Objection!
I've never dared let myself even consider this possibility until now. But in the light of all of this treachery, I have to ask. The mastermind behind the Reaper of the Bailey. Was it you, Lord Maelstrongheart?
A rather brilliant idea, wouldn't you say, Lord Baroque von Zeeks? That the spirit of your late brother, that paragon of justice, should return to reap justice for his sibling. Could there be a more appetizing tale for London's masses, I ask you?
What? What brazen...
I knew that you'd play the part to perfection. But your role wasn't really that of some embodiment of death. No, you were London's guardian angel.
An angel with bloody hands? I think not.
Ooh, imagery. Those who had cooperated with me were only too happy to participate in my plan. Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson. My minions worked tirelessly to ensure that the finger of guilt could never come to rest on you. It's all thanks to them that you were exalted as the demigod the Reaper became. Can't imagine that Gregson was like, oh, okay, you want me to die now? Cool.
Oh, it's my turn?
Chill.
Oh.
Yeah, makes sense.
Neat. Thanks. Okay, bye.
But Dr. Wilson left Britain 4 years ago when he was invited to work in Japan.
That's right. So I had to employ the services of his young protege after that. Dr. Courtney Scythe. Dr. Scythe? So, what with the execution of the professor and the subsequent reign of the Reaper of the Bailey, I've successfully safeguarded law and order in our mighty capital for the past decade. And that is everything.
Gotta love bad guy monologues.
Bad guy monologue. My lords, ladies, and gentlemen, I do hereby confess, it was I who sired the concept of the Reaper. However, let me say, in my defense, it was all for the preservation of law and order across the entire capital empire.
Lord Strongheart did it.
An unforgivable collection of crimes, but still.
All those who died in the Reaper's hand were rotten to the core anyway.
It was all in the aid of keeping London safe.
Rabble.
Watermelon. There's no one left now who can reveal the precise truth of what happened 10 years ago. Therefore, this trial can go no further. Also, cool track.
Really cool track.
Now, place your bets, everybody. Is Gregson actually alive? Is he gonna show up?
Please.
He dead.
He's probably dead. Really, for real.
It was
for
off-screen
sure,
death, though.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure. But
An encoder error occurred while recording. So we're not recording anymore. Let me start the recording.
Oh, that's weird.
That is weird. Oh, am I running out of room?
Oh, maybe.
maybe.
No.
I'm not asking chat. I'm
No.
not asking chat.
Don't
I cannot
answer
look at
chat.
But
Chat! Do not put the name or answer in the
His
chat
name's
file.
Clay BTW, Tom.
Oh, thank
you
you.
good?
I'm good. Yeah, we good.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Angry. Therefore, this trial can go on
Thank
no
you, Angry.
further. Now, I would like to entreat all those present. Beyond these four walls, nobody need know the truth. Even Her Majesty must be protected from this. Oh, damn! Oh, damn!
Did they,
Oh,
have, they have
damn.
a queen at this time?
Yes, Queen Victoria.
Cheers.
I made that up, but
Ah,
I'm pretty sure it was Queen Victoria.
Which one, though?
Yeah. Answer the question.
Third? I trust you all appreciate the importance of my request. It is, of course, for the good of the country. Can he do this? Can the trial really end now?
I have one last question for the accused, Lord Von Zeeks.
What?
Of course, I know that you're a highly accomplished prosecutor. So I find it hard to believe that you didn't have any doubts at all. That you never suspected your older brother.
Yes, the same thought occurred to me.
It was only once. But, yes, I couldn't say that I never had my doubts. My brother's sense of justice was extremely strong. Perhaps too strong, I observed. At that time, there were members of the aristocracy who were bleeding the country dry, all for their own gain. And since they were nobles, they were untouchable. For my brother, it was a source of great turmoil.
And, coincidentally at the time, the professor began his terrifying reign.
During the time of the professor killings, my brother did not appear to be himself.
And that made you suspect.
Yes. But it was only once, not more.
Only once? Really?
Clint wasn't the culprit. That was my conclusion at the time. And I still believe that now.
Do you have any evidence to support that idea?
The third victim was the Lord Chief Justice at the time.
Oh!
It was he who had recognized my brother's potential and trained him as a prosecutor.
Oh!
No matter what the circumstances, it's unthinkable that my brother would have killed a friend and a mentor.
I don't know, unless that mentor was like, okay, now that you're all trained and good, we're gonna do bad things now. You're gonna let these people go.
That's how it works with the Sith, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, 'cause-
Wow.
Always two, and then the master always gets killed by the apprentice, which makes you think, like, why would you ever take an apprentice?
I don't know.
But it's a part of the circle of Sith.
Yeah, because like spiders do that or whatever, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That will do. Neither Clint von Zeeks nor Genshin Isogi still walk this earth. However much we debate this matter now, we cannot hope to reach a conclusion. But there are only two extant pieces of evidence left from that time. The woe-begone ring that acted as the incriminating evidence to condemn Genshin Isogi, and the 3-page last will and testament penned in black ink and left behind by the man. The wretched truth of what happened is exactly as I have explained.
Is it, though?
Later today, I will present myself at the Ministry of Justice for whatever sanction is deemed appropriate. That is all. Court is adjourned.
No.
Objection!
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Kazuma.
Me?
You. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made this 11th hour discovery.
What discovery?
My lord, I'm afraid. I must insist the trial continues. I beg your pardon? As the court has been reminded today already, we must stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth. And to that end, one particular statement made by somebody in this courtroom moments ago revealed a very subtle contradiction. What contradiction?
But all I did was ask the accused one simple question.
Well, it began with Lord Von Zeeks and his recollection of his brother, but Lord Strongheart didn't permit the defendant to speak at length.
I merely pointed out that we can draw no further useful conclusions here. So why on earth, where on earth is the contradiction? One of them definitely just said something contradictory.
Okay.
It's time to identify who.
Can we look at? You can't look at the court record.
I can.
Yeah. Are there only 2 pages of last will and testament?
I believe so. Yeah.
Then
Oh!
why did you say 3?
Oh, damn! What a good catch.
I'm gonna play a couple things before we
Okay,
move
play
forward.
it.
Sure,
Play it.
sure.
Also hype news, I was able to get a PS5 and have just finished Persona 5 Royal on PS5 and highly recommend it. I've been watching your VODs as I play.
Nice!
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
It
It's
is
good game.
It's very
It's
good game.
Yep.
3 pages.
last
Y'all
will
done
and testament.
bunged it, bro.
Oh!
What a good catch.
Oh.
Very nice.
I resigned from my job last Wednesday and start my new one tomorrow. Wish me luck.
Incredible.
Hey, Kakume!
Kakume!
Congrats, Kakume.
I hope that this was a upward move and not
Are
a.
you ready for the season finale? You know I am. Fire.
Screaming anime!
Hell
yeah!
Hell yeah.
Oh shoot, where is... I don't think I got this one, but it went through for some reason.
Okay,
Oh, okay, 41 months!
41
I never
months.
reverted back to lurking, but I just wanted to say it's a joy having you back for this, Tom. Much love.
Oh, so good to see
Thanks,
you all.
OKK, and sorry about the delay!
I couldn't find any puns related to Clint's name, apart from some assumptions about some artist named Gustav Klimt.
Huh.
Rather anticlimactic final name time, particularly for a serial killer.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
TBD, thank you so much, and thank you for the whole playthrough.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
so much.
Appreciate
For all
you.
the name facts.
The name facts and the support, thank you.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. One more.
Mr. Judge,
Spike!
you're too involved with this case, and even under these conditions,
True.
you can't give a fair judgment.
Now-
Can you please step down?
I really thought that once he started getting implicated, Judge was going to come out.
Santa?
And Santa was going to come out. Yeah,
I
you-
thought so too, yeah.
Yeah, you said, oh, what's that on the roof?
Oh.
Oh.
All right, yo. All right.
It was Lord Strongheart. I'm sure of it. Something he said was slightly off. Come on, Ryunosuke. Think back over his words. Find the problem. Neither Clint von Zeeks nor Genshin Asogi still walk on this earth. Oh, of course, that's it.
Ah!
They're both alive. Son.
Secretly.
Been living on a little island. Or spending time in Australia? I don't know.
Oof.
However much we debate this matter now, we cannot hope to reach a conclusion. There are only 2 extant pieces of evidence from the time. The woe-begone ring that acted as the incriminating evidence to condemn Genshin Asogi, and the 3-page last will and testament penned in black ink and left behind by the man.
And he didn't even have to. He chose to. He could have just said the
will.
The will.
But he was so specific.
So specific.
That's what, the more they talk, the more it all unravels.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Strongheart, would you care to explain? Explain what, Counsel? Among the statements you made just a few moments ago, something you said was inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence we have. Inconsistent? And whilst an inconsistency remains, the defense has a right to pursue an explanation.
Ryunosuke. What?
Yep. Let me warn you about the statements you are making, Counsel. They may very well prove fatal. You claim my words contained a contradiction. With which piece of evidence, I ask you, the sword?
The sword!
Sword!
Um,
Throw the sword at him.
You didn't mention the sword.
it's so funny because, I don't know, there's no evidence either which way, and just him be like, oops, I goofed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
2 pages. Thank you, Counsel, for correcting me. Now what?
Take that!
This here is the will left behind by Mr. Asogi. The 2-paged will. What? Yet moments ago, your precise words were the 3-paged last will and testament. Oh! Could it be that originally there was a third page? Oops. For a moment, I thought perhaps you'd identified something worthwhile, but it's a mere trifle I see. A trifle? Governor Caden! Eh? Ah. Yeah. What can I do for you, sir? You were present when the Japanese man penned his last will and testament. I was there for sure. I remember the black worm-like scrolls to this day. And I'm quite certain, my lord, that there was a third page at the time. Ah.
What?
Only the first 2 pages were an actual will, though. If I mind correctly, the third was a message to his lad back in Japan. For legal purposes, we required only his will. And we wouldn't have wanted any uncomfortable words about Britain to get back to Japan, eh? So it was decided that the third page oughtn't to be sent.
Objection.
How dare you make that decision? I had a right to know what it said, to hear my father's final words to me.
The courtroom is no place for sentimentality, counsel. As it happens, I have the third page of that document with me here now.
My father's message!
It will be given to you at the end of these proceedings.
But I want it now.
It'll be too late once the trial is over. We need to know what it says now. Even the slightest thing may give us a vital clue.
I see.
My lord, the defense calls for Genshin Isogi's last words to his son to be read out loud before the court now. Woo! Your request is denied. The inevitably Muldoon words can be of no consequence now.
Objection.
The prosecution agrees. The court should know the content of that message. Every possible piece of evidence must be thoroughly examined.
No. Very well then. Governor Caden, you will read the third page of the... Isn't it in Japanese?
I know. Like, is that going to be in Japanese?
Because he said there were like squiggles or whatever.
100%.
You will read the third page of the document for all present to hear. Yes, sir! Only, I should point out, my lord, that I can't actually read the language. This beautiful handwriting.
This beautiful handwriting? Shame on you, Barry.
Oh! Hello.
If I could be of assistance here, I would be happy to translate the words into English for the court.
Father!
You're still here, are you, Dr. Mikotoba?
Naturally.
Him in the background.
Tippity tappity, tippity tappity.
I consider myself a member of the judiciary, albeit a lowly one.
You'd have a meme where it's like tap dancing noises and then Harry and Ron in the car in the Chamber of Secrets looking behind them going,
But perhaps I should quietly withdraw after I've translated Genshin's message.
your cooperation is much appreciated.
This guy's a true professional. Like,
Cosima, the truth is shrouded in darkness. A darkness only our clan's great sword can pierce. Mighty Karuma, twist thy head and watch them fall. All thy mortal foes.
And they're really surfing up this sword thing. This is probably one of the only times in this series where I'm like, okay, I get it. The sword has the thing inside the thing. Yeah. We can do it. And they're like, but maybe.
In case you missed it.
Did you think about the sword? Otherwise, it's been really good, though.
yes.
That's the end of the message, it would seem.
A haiku poem. Twist thy head.
Father,
What is Karuma?
the name of the Asogi clan's famous sword. Clan. A razor-sharp blade known to all, Except you, passed down for generation. It embodies the Japanese spirit.
It's not known to me.
You don't know a lot of things, dude. Your brother was a killer.
It's the katana sword that was submitted as evidence earlier in these proceedings. The one worn by the prosecution counsel when he confronted Inspector Gregson.
Yeah.
Ooh.
With that, like, did we ever talk about why Kazuma, like, swung his sword at Gregson?
No.
Because he was trying to get the information out of him. He was basically
you're
was
right.
threatening
You're
him.
right. 100%. Yeah, I remember that.
Just being angry.
The thing is, if the hilt of this sword really is hollow,
Not a good sword.
not a good sword.
Not a good sword.
Because from my understanding, I'm not a blacksmith, of course, but the sword would go all the way through the hilt
Yes.
and then be wrapped, basically. Otherwise, it
Yep.
would snap.
That's called the tang.
The tang.
Yes.
I love tang.
Right?
Not really.
No.
All of these procrastinations are beginning to try my patience. Adjournment of this court is long overdue. As the presiding judge, I have been as accommodating as possible of the will of the courtroom. However, despite all that, no new information has come to light. In pursuit of justice, Lord Clint von Zee tragically lost all sense of morality. When he murdered his former mentor, clearly he was already devoid of his normal faculties.
Objection!
How dare you? I refuse to believe that of my brother.
Too much time has passed. We cannot ever hope to know more than we do now. Especially since the alleged will that he penned in his final moments appears to have been lost forever.
Oh, Lord Strongheart, you appear to be in something of a hurry to wrap things up. I wonder why.
Diarrhea.
It's been 4 hours and I have not had a bathroom break.
Right?
We've heard your state time and time again during these proceedings that everything you did was in the interests of the protecting British law and order.
And I stand by that. Without the Reaper, we could never have achieved the reduction in crime the capital has seen.
Objection!
What about Inspector Gregson then?
And Dr. Wilson. They were no criminals. You used them to achieve your ends, and then you had them killed.
However you dress it up, there was nothing fair or just about that.
Lord Strongheart, what exactly is it that you are hiding?
Dr. Mikotoba, were you not to quietly withdraw after the translation of your former associate's will? In this courtroom, no argument carries weight unless it is supported by evidence. And it would seem that the defense has no more evidence to present. In which case, I hereby order all discourse from these proceedings to be struck from the record.
Face slap.
No, this is my last chance.
Mr. Naruto!
I have to present some decisive evidence now, or it's all over. But can I? Oh, hell yeah. Present evidence, baby.
Wait and see. It's my only chance. Let's see how this goes.
Wait, my lord. As it happens, the defense does have evidence to present. What? Don't be absurd.
Get him!
There's nothing of relevance remaining from the time.
Objection!
It's high time that you realize something, my lord.
Huh?
This gentleman has an uncanny habit of producing evidence at the final hour that has escaped everyone's last attention.
It's a very like
else's attention.
Jack Sparrow hand going on.
It is, yeah.
Nonsense.
What is it, Ryunosuke? What do you have? Open your mouth. Drop it. Drop it.
I dare say,
Drop the evidence.
the final, decisive piece of evidence that will reveal the whole truth about this rotten tale.
How can you?
Decisive?
Well, it would appear there's no escaping it now, my lord.
Let it be so, then. Present whatever you think you have that can settle this decade-old enigma if you're capable. What exactly is this evidence that the defense claims to be so decisive?
Should we examine the sword and see?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. 110%. Karuma, the great blade. It's such a thing of beauty, I want to gaze on it for hours.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, oh, oh.
Ha 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 ha. Ah, ha 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 ha.
Where is Karma the sword?
Right
Need
here.
to use it for a second eyes narrowed strong heart.
Hey!
And then we're
But
doing
not
it.
the way you'd think.
Not the way you'd expect.
Thank you.
El Puffin!
Thanks.
That's what this feels good. More pain for Von Zieks and Karuma. Yeah. Or Kazuma, sorry.
But this is about to feel
Kazuma
so
Karuma.
good.
It's gonna be so good.
So good.
Just wanted to say you guys are killing it with the voices today.
Hey.
Easily S tier.
We're trying.
Oh,
Thanks,
thank
Cyber.
you.
Thank you.
Oh. Man, I've been waiting for decades for this to happen.
I know, right? How long ago was it? It was quite a while ago. Mighty Karuma, twist thy head and watch them fall, all thy mortal foes. That's the proper way to use the sword, is it? Maybe I should try it. It hurts my neck. That's the trouble.
Mr. Naruhodo, if I might make a suggestion,
Hold on. I think I just gotta do this a little harder.
I think perhaps it doesn't mean your head.
Wait, I haven't tried. Oh,
I once studied the history and development of the katana some time ago, and as I'm sure you're probably aware, the sword's head is the part at the very end of the hilt. It's written as head in Japan, but it's pronounced as kashira, I believe.
Kashira. Kashira. So Mr. Asogi's words really mean twist the butt. You don't think, grabs butt.
Not your butt.
I wish that it. I wish it used his ring as a key.
Oh.
Because
Maybe that would have been too obvious though on examination.
Yeah, maybe.
But kind of makes sense.
Right? Especially because, like, he might have just turned it by accident as a kid.
I know I would have.
Yeah.
1,000%.
They twisted the butt.
Twist the butt.
Look what's inside.
Is that a tightly wound sheet of parchment?
Ooh.
Jenny, you were no. I can't read that handwriting.
Oh. Scarlet ink. It's written in scarlet ink. I penned this, my last will and testament, in the final moments before my inevitable and willing death. This is it, isn't it?
Mr. Naruhodo, look at the signature at the end.
Clint Von Zieks. And the date, 10 years ago on that fateful night.
So for 10 years, it's been silently concealed inside Karuma and nobody knew. The last will and testament of Lord Clint Von Zieks.
Wait. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is unbelievable. The last will and testament of Lord Clint Von Zieks that has been hidden inside the great sword Karuma for years. A trump card left behind by Genshin Asogi. Damn, let's go take a look at that. Jenny! 48 months, which is 4 years!
4 more years.
And appropriate.
Vote for Jen.
Jenny says 4.
4.
Can I get some 4s in chat?
Vote
please?
for.
Vote for. Damn
Thank you so much. All right.
Oh, I can't even examine it.
What?
It just is.
It just is what it is.
It just is.
I guess because you're going to present it and then they're going to read it for sure.
Nope, they don't read it. Let me see that. He eats it. Oh!
I was thinking about that. If you just destroyed it,
What are you gonna do about it?
what are you going to do?
What are you gonna do?
There's a single piece of evidence that can clarify what really happened 10 years ago that I just found now. Don't worry about it.
The last will and testament of Lord Clint von Zeeks.
Ha! A wonderfully astute observation, I'm sure. But in case it had escaped your notice, that document was lost long ago.
You're going to look so stupid in a minute.
So stupid.
Oh, male. Aha.
That's right. It was. Only
It wasn't.
I have it right here. Discovered just moments ago. Literally.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Impossible. That can't be! Everything that's happened comes back to this will. This document is the key that will unlock the entire mystery.
Whoa, that's a face.
No.
my brother's last will and testament. Where did you find that?
It was rolled up inside this.
Inside Karuma?
The ultimate weapon Genshin Asogi obtained has lain undisturbed in the hilt of this sword all these years. And just waiting for the right time to emerge and reveal the truth.
Oh, the signature and seal certainly look official. My God, it's true. It's my brother's handwriting. There can be no mistake.
I forbid the contents of that document from being read out. Do you hear me? I strictly forbid it!
On what grounds?
I don't want it. You can't do that, my lord. This document could explain everything. That document could literally destroy the meaning of justice in this country. I demand that you hand it to me at once! Why? What are you trying to hide? Could it be that you already know what's written on this page? What are you implying? Court is adjourned with immediate effect. Clear the courtroom.
Oh, boot and wine!
Do that, my lord, and you'll suffer a fatal blow as Lord Chief Justice.
I beg your pardon.
Forcibly ending a trial without good reason. And not any trial, a closed trial by the order of Her Majesty the Queen. To defy the monarch's will is treason!
Boot and wine feels so good.
Lord Clint von Zeeks really did pen a will that day.
It's exactly as the young Japanese man said.
Read it out now!
We have a right to hear what's in that will, a right and a duty.
Well, my lord, it would rather appear as though proceedings aren't going to go quite as you'd hoped.
You fools!
Go ahead, Ryunosuke. Read it. The prosecution gives its full support.
Yay. Very well then. No. For God's sake. No!
Good.
I wanted him to break the stand.
I penned this, my last will and testament, in the final moments before my inevitable and willing death. The hour is 11 p.m., and I sit at my writing desk in my office. My good friend Asogi stands at my shoulder.
Okay.
He has expressed his intent to invoke the dying ritual of the duel, that I may depart this world with honor,
Oh, that's really nice.
an honor of which I am utterly undeserving. The Japanese are a truly merciful people. Oh, damn.
Looks like his dad had his own wind too, eh?
Yeah, I guess so. localized wind. I, Clint von Zieks, Lord of the Manor of the von Zieks estate, hereby confess to the following. I am the killer who has come to be known in society as the Professor, guilty of 4 counts of murder. I will not hear discourse, the corruption rife among the aristocracy, which is to me, as one of them, so apparent. However, 6 months ago, I took the life of a member of the House of Lords at the heart of the depravity. A demon who habitually sacrificed the common man to further his own interests, abusing his position of power. The law is impotent against such vile avarice. Only a fellow demon can rid society of this menace. Ooh. That demon was my quarry, upon whom I willingly set my great hound. But though I am a hunter of some experience, I am a poor felon, it seems. My guilt was once recognized by another, and I became subject to his extortion. He held over me the great threat of exposing my wicked crime to my beloved wife and brother. Under that threat, I have done this man's bidding for months now, killing those he demanded I kill. As I watched my former mentor perish before the eyes at the jaws of the hound I commanded, I realized that I had lost the last shred of decency within me and sunk to the level of a wild beast. There is no path back to the light, be it I or my dear friend Asogi, who dies this night. I am eternally damned. To my extortioner, male Strongheart, may you feel the jaws of the beast at your throat every time you swallow.
Actual chills.
I know, damn.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow, and he was smiling.
Ooh.
So now we know. Yes, Clint von Zieks was a murderer. But somebody was directing him and naming his victims. His extortioner. Lord Male Strongheart. It was you!
Lord Strongheart, a moment ago, you claimed that what the court had just heard could destroy justice in this country. But you weren't trying to protect justice at all. All you were trying to do was conceal the secret of your true nature and the countless lives you've sacrificed up till now. It just didn't make sense to me. The third victim, the former Lord Chief Justice, was my brother's benefactor and a man of lofty principles. As I said, Clint had no possible reason to kill the man.
But you did, didn't you, Lord Strongheart? To eliminate the man who stood between you and the office you'd set your sights on. So you used your own hunting dog, Lord Clint von Zieks, to take him down.
It had to be done. London's unsavory shadows are deep, and the arm of the law fails to reach their depths. Crime must be cut off at the roots, but the Lord Chief Justice at the time couldn't see that. He was weak. Lofty principles, you say? Tantamount to cowardice, if you ask me. Which is why I took his place. In order to fight the crime he was allowing to spread like wildfire.
By murdering the man.
The Reaper, the Professor, the name makes no difference. As I've explained countless times already, it was all done for the furtherance of law and order in London.
Objection!
Are you going to legitimize the murder of my father now, too?
Ah, Genshin Asogi. Well, that was unfortunate. I had fully intended to send him back to Japan, as we'd agreed.
I don't believe you! It was you, wasn't it? You killed him!
I think he would have killed him in Japan, probably.
No.
It wasn't me who took your father's life.
Okay.
Then who?
On the night following his mock execution, I went to Logate Cemetery at 3 in the morning with Jigoku. No! No! What? Judge Jigoku? There had to be a collaborator on the Japanese side to manage Asogi's treatment after his repatriation. Jigoku had fierce ambition. It made him easy to manipulate. 10 years ago, after he'd stood trial for the destruction of the witness stand, I had words with him. When I told him the position of Minister of Foreign Affairs could be his, he couldn't agree fast enough.
Senshiro, you fool.
As you know, Asogi escaped the prison in a closed casket and was subsequently interred. We intended to dig him out of his grave before he ran out of air. But sadly, all did not go according to plan.
That's Drebber.
Oh, yes.
There was an unexpected visitor to the cemetery with his own ideas of digging up the grave. A man who witnessed what nobody was supposed to see. Enoch Drebber. Of course, I knew grave robbers frequented London cemeteries. But that grave on that particular night... Enoch Drebber, who was that?
Oh, blast!
You.
That's not what he's saying.
Oh.
It's probably a strong heart or a Jigoku.
Oh, yeah.
Because blast, if people find out the convict wasn't really executed.
Yeah.
Maybe strong.
Yeah,
Blast.
yeah.
If people find out the convict wasn't really executed, the scandal will rock the very foundations of the Empire. Then what do we do? Shoot him, Mr. Jigoku. Shoot Asogi at once. He can't live now that this has happened. He has to go. What are you talking about? We had an agreement. You promised him he could return to Japan. Everything has changed now. If the truth got out because of this, the both of us would be finished forever. Come on, Jigoku. Do it. Pull the trigger.
Couldn't even shoot the guy himself.
Shoot! I know, right?
Wow.
I'm surprised they didn't just shoot Enoch.
I guess that would be harder to cover up. But yeah. Also,
Not
it
if
benefits Male Strongheart to have Asogi
Yeah,
dead.
yeah.
I mean, would it though? Because he does just have a coffin right there. You could just shoot Enoch, take the helmet off, put it on Enoch. Nobody would know.
Oh, well, I mean,
But, like, if Dr. Wilson was in Japan and then Male Strongheart had him killed, I'm pretty sure that he would also have Asogi killed in Japan.
Probably.
By the similar logic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jigoku shot Asogi from the shadows. The grave robber was so close. The blood sprayed all over his coat. He fled as fast as his legs would carry him. Then, Jigoku and I put Asogi's body back in the grave from which he'd just emerged. When I learnt later of the waxwork modeler's presence at the scene as well, I made her swear 2 things. Never to remove the professor's mask, and never to speak of the events of that night. And with that, the secret was buried, along with Asogi's corpse. So, now you know what really happened in Logate Cemetery that night. Well. Damn. Did not see that one coming.
No.
no.
Oof.
No.
Oof.
So, like, a week ago, I was like, wouldn't it be, because he was shot, Von Zeeks doesn't have his gun anymore.
Mm.
And I thought
Oh.
it was going to be that he killed him and, like, whatever, buried his gun there
Yeah.
or something like that.
Make sure he's dead.
Yeah.
Because he was angry.
Yes.
That makes sense.
But pas vrai. Not true.
I love it when a slip of the tongue nails the beg.
Right? Vil, how do you know I tripped over a stone in Hearthville?
Thanks, Adam. I got it.
Tom proving that the NyanCave can't read, they can count. Also, I thought there were only 2 streamers in the NyanCave. Tom, there were 3.
There were 3. Thanks, Dark Iron.
That's funny, Dark.
Now, this is a season finale revelation. Bring me the popcorn.
Heck yeah.
Let's get the
Honestly,
popcorn.
man, thank you. Just got more and we'll get it going.
If Una Sukes doesn't stop being confident and manly, the right family is gonna have Mexican genes in their family tree courtesy of me.
Monodu!
Thank you!
It's funny, but with the order you did the events, it means Ryunosuke was completely bullshitting that he had evidence since he hadn't looked yet.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
As is tradition.
Yes.
Look at the handle again before the trial is over for achievement dialogue smile.
Angry.
Sure.
Twist thy head and watch them fall. All thy mortal foes. Kazuma's father certainly had a way with words.
And he certainly thought up an ingenious hiding place, too. It seems almost playful at first, but I do wonder if over the years, perhaps, the duties of the Asogi clan have actually called for such inventiveness.
Protecting great secrets, you mean? Those sort of duties? Well, I could believe that. Kazuma conducts himself like someone with the weight of his clan's long and noble history on his shoulders. Aw, Asogi clan appreciator. That's sweet. Thanks, Angry. Wouldn't have got that.
Oh.
It was Jigoku, your Japanese acquaintance who had killed Asogi in the end, you see. He claimed to be the man's friend, but when push came to shove, he pulled the trigger. Just before Mr. Jigoku left the courtroom earlier, he said that the assassin exchange proposal was a demand from his British counterpart, not a request.
So you coerced him too, using what happened in the graveyard.
By that time, Jigoku was a minister of foreign affairs negotiating international treaties with Britain. You can imagine what would have happened if it came to light that he'd murdered a compatriot 10 years earlier. He would have lost everything. I merely reminded him of that.
How do you sleep at night?
What a great line. How do you sleep at night?
On my back. Because if I slept on my any other way, I don't have a finishing to this quote. Continue.
Oh, also, you haven't left a like for in this video. How do you sleep at night?
How do you sleep at night?
If you haven't left a like, thank you. I don't ask often.
Also, just curious, how do you sleep?
How
at
do you
night?
sleep?
I know. I'm making a poll right now.
I sleep on my side with a pillow. These past 10 years, I fought tirelessly with the darker recesses of London's criminal underworld. And I've used whatever means necessary to ensure that justice prevails and law and order reign supreme. That couldn't be farther from the truth. The fact is, you haven't fought crime at all. How dare you? I saved Clint Von Zeeks from dishonor in his death.
Objection.
Whilst behind the scenes, you systematically buried anyone who stood in your way. And then, you made my father take the blame.
It was unavoidable. It was the only way to protect our justice system and public order.
Let's not forget the others you've killed as well. Setting the defendant up as the Reaper to cover up the truth behind the murders of countless more.
That's enough! Do you have any idea of the conniving that led to the acquittals of those wretched criminals? We have to fight fire with fire. Our courts can't function without a Reaper. Can't you see all I've done for this country? This has been my struggle.
Objection!
You've done nothing! It's Lord von Zeeks here who has worked tirelessly to justly in court, whilst enduring the disgrace of the Reaper name.
And Inspector Gregson, fraught with anguish for having sullied his hands through a desire to do the right thing. Not to mention Genshin Asogi, who risked his life going in pursuit of the truth you tried to hide. No, the darker recesses of London's underworld were largely filled by you! You little! When will you get it through your thick skulls?
That it was all for Queen and country? I'm tiring of that excuse. You've consistently twisted the truth for bargaining power to make others do your bidding. Nothing more.
People who willingly twist the truth and coerce others have no right to call themselves part of the judiciary. I strongly suggest you don't ever talk of justice again.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You can't start a slow clap for yourself, man.
Right?
That's embarrassing.
Well. Dear me, my good fellows, dear me. A well-deserved round of applause, I think, for a quite marvelous performance. What are you talking about? Those delightfully grave expressions. That's beautifully pronounced Queen's English. Really, our friends from the Far East are quite the picture of industriousness.
You fraud. Keep your mockery!
Ha! Please, don't misunderstand. It really is exactly as you've both said.
What are you trying to say?
I have occupied the darker recesses of London's underworld, and how do you put it? Done nothing? I confess it's a little embarrassing to have it pointed out quite so starkly, but yes, I really have done nothing, which means I can be indicted for nothing. No? What? It's true. Personally, I have committed no crime. I've merely been surrounded by fools who have acted very rashly indeed.
Objection!
You can't get away with that! You've consistently preyed on people's weaknesses. And what? Threatened them? Are you sure it wasn't just a bargaining? I would like to address all the good lords, ladies, and gentlemen of the judiciary here present. You all know of these darker recesses in our great capital, and deep down I believe you also know that to fight those who dwell there requires at least some of us to occupy the darkness ourselves. So let me appeal to your good sense now. Consider the situation with me. If this catalog of horrifying revelations were to become common knowledge among the 6 million inhabitants of London, what might happen? To learn that the infamous murderer of royals and nobles was a respected member of the aristocracy himself. That evidence was fabricated in the scapegoat's trial amid secret negotiations with prosecutors to effect a jailbreak. That the Reaper of the Bailey was an organized group of assassins managed by Scotland Yard Inspector Gregson. And finally, that it was all masterminded by the Lord Chief Justice himself.
If the general public of Britain knew the truth, all faith in the police and the prosecutor's office would be completely lost, without doubt.
Public order in the capital would be completely broken down. Would be cast back to the lawless days of old.
Precisely. as it was 100 years ago, when no one in 10 of the It was 100 years ago, when 1 in 10 of the population were criminals. Think what we've accomplished since then. A public policing force, a comprehensive set of laws. And if we want to continue to protect this new era of law and order, I say again, we must at times occupy the darkness ourselves. We have successfully identified and apprehended the man responsible for taking Inspector Gregson's life. That is all that was expected of this trial. All these other matters that have been discussed will be eliminated from the minutes of these proceedings in the interests of preserving law and order. And to protect Her Majesty the Queen, of course. Well, my lords and ladies and gentlemen, what say you?
Burn him!
What say you?
He has a point.
Oh, things Lord Stronger has done are quite unforgivable.
But on the other hand...
Isn't it our duty to maintain law and order in the capital?
You can't deny that the threat of the Reaper over the years has done wonders of crime rate.
And by fear needs are veil, that's all Lord Strong. Strong heart.
What?
Strong heart. Strong heart.
He pulled off the slow clap?
Strong
He
heart.
did. He slow clapped himself into success.
Are you hearing this?
This is the will of the British judiciary?
Oh!
Is this how justice dies? To roaring applause? For your rousing response, friends, I express my heartfelt gratitude. Therefore, in accordance with the overwhelming wishes of the court, the record shall be erased. I love how he's using the same thing we used against him earlier.
I know, right?
It's really great.
Yeah.
You have to respect the man's ability to turn a situation to his favor. Lord Strongheart really is a master of manipulation.
You've conclusively proven his guilt. Yet still he manages to evade justice. I just don't know what we can do.
Rinosuke!
It looks like the trial really is going to come to an end now. I'm almost out of options, I think.
Almost.
There's really only one path left open to me. Oh, God.
Use evidence!
What evidence?
The bunny!
Oh, shit! Oh,
bunny!
shit, you're right! Use evidence.
When you
I love the
find
term
yourself in
use
darkness.
evidence,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
present evidence.
Yeah,
That's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Very
Good
good.
catch, good catch. I forgot about it entirely.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Don't lose your way in your
Yes,
mind.
as I know only too well, the only thing that carries any weight in court is hard evidence, or in this case, soft and fluffy.
But, Mr. Naruhodo,
Freaking
what
music.
evidence is there to use at this stage in the trial?
I have an idea. I don't know whether anything will come of it, but if there was ever a time for using this particular item we have among the evidence, it's now.
Oh, damn!
This song is so good. I love this game.
So, the pen truly is mightier than the sword.
Hey.
Thanks, Adam. That's true. That's cool. That's cool.
Good intentions pave the way to hell. I love how GAA expressed this idea with multiple characters who had their own ideas of right but half.
Sorry, the second one broke for me. If you could do that real quick. And then we'll move It's Miles. Up a little bit. Right there.
This one.
Yeah.
Go on to justify lies, grudges and murders in the process. Evil comes from mundane places. Good on Runo for never giving up on the truth. 2.
Hey.
So
Thanks,
true.
Miles of Edgeworth.
Miles! Thank you.
Oh, yes. Mr. Sholmes asked you if you had any... Mr. Sholmes asked if you had that with you earlier.
We've exposed all of Lord Strongheart's wrongdoing now. I've no doubt that Mr. Sholmes had already deduced exactly how the truth would unfurl.
Like a scroll.
So I think it must be time for the great detective to take center stage, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. Let's take the hair by the ears then, and heave.
All right, here goes. Heave!
Ow, 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 ow! My dear fellows, must I remind you every time? A gentle tug will suffice.
Mr. Sholmes!
You're looking quite the wrong direction, Mr. Naruhodo, because I'm over here.
Mr. Naruhodo, he's...
Gene Parmesan!
What?
It's Mr. Sholmes!
Whoa!
A
Wow!
hologram?
It's a magical hologram, don't worry.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back, Mr. Sholmes.
Delighted to be here again, Lord Strongheart.
What? What is the meaning of this? Bailiff, seize him! Put that man in irons!
I'd like to see you try.
This is a closed court. You've been warned once already, man. Ha ha! What the? We can't get a hold of him, my lord. We just go right through him.
I'm afraid your efforts are wasted. You see.
Dancing. Oh, dance.
Oh,
The handwork.
Oh, my
my
goodness.
God.
Yes.
Look at him!
Ooh,
Hello.
wiggle.
I'm
Whirl.
here.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle,
But
wiggle,
am
wiggle.
I? I don't know. My
Wiggle,
guess.
wiggle, wiggle,
Boo.
wiggle. Yeah.
Boo. The great detective you see before you is composed entirely of light and shadow. An image, if you will.
I love the guy beside him just freaking out.
What do
I do? Come on, Mom. Tell me what to do. Wow.
Mr. Naruhodo, I must congratulate you on your fine deductions.
Mr. Sholmes, what on earth is...
Are you familiar, I wonder, with the invention known as the telephone?
No? Well, yes. I hear that some public telephones have been installed recently in Tokyo. Yes?
The sound of the speaker's voice is converted to an electrical signal and transmitted instantly to another.
Quite. Sounds are transmitted. So could not images keep them company, I mused.
Not for at least another 200 years.
Yeah.
Or yes, 100 years. Or so.
We still don't have holograms.
We do, kind of. It just takes a lot of equipment.
Not like this.
Not like this.
Iris and I did some modest experimentation to develop such a device specifically for this very day.
Modest experimentation, Mr. Sholmes? What a modest description!
And, somewhat incidentally, I thought we might just as well transmit an entire scene.
That makes sense.
Of course.
Whoa, hey, chat. I see you talking about stuff. Now stop. Have you ever thought of... Wow. Doesn't that all make sense now?
Incredible.
Somewhat incidentally, Mr. Sholmes, now you're just being immodest.
Do you mean to say you're not actually here, Sholmes?
Ah, I knew my trusty partner would have no trouble grasping the concept.
Except that he's grasping the sand, so said he himself after your shock arrival.
Poor father. I would have hoped he might have been forewarned, being the great detective's great partner.
Leave my courtroom at once! Get out or I swear to you!
Oh, dear me. You, on the other hand, Lord Strongheart, appear to have a very poor grasp on the situation. Allow me to reiterate, I am not here, which would, I hope, lead naturally to one asking, where exactly are you?
Strongheart's
The very
office?
question I was awaiting. I'm at present enjoying the air in a rather splendid garden.
Oh? A garden?
Not just any garden, you understand. A garden at Buckingham Palace.
Oh! C'est quoi? What? You can't be! Buckingham Palace? What's Buckingham Palace, Mrs. Sato? I've never heard of it.
Do you ever read the news, Mr. Naruhodo?
Mr. Sholmes? Is Iris with you there?
Ah, well now. Iris is currently enjoying some tea. With Her Majesty.
Oh! Oh, shit! Her Majesty?
Not just any Her Majesty, you understand. Her Majesty, the Queen of Britain, of the British Empire.
Oh! What? How dare you tell me? What on earth is this all about?
Buckingham Palace is Her Majesty the Queen's residence in London, Mr. Naruhodo.
Order in the court. I demand immediate silence. Her Majesty the Queen. You can't be. I mean, no! This is some sort of unforgivably distasteful trickery by a third-rate detective, that's all.
Unforgivably distasteful trickery? What an apt description. A closed court. A closed court in session attended by elite members of the judiciary is a rare event. I presume that Her Majesty would be more than a little curious about the proceedings. So, I decided to show her everything.
Oh!
From start to finish.
Oh! Huh? You showed her?
Indeed. By dint of Herlock Sholmes' remote cinematograph.
You meddling.
This is some kind of nightmare.
Just as I appear to be standing before you, regaling you with talk of my latest invention. No doubt you've inferred that the reverse is also true. You don't mean... Her Majesty has seen and heard every moment of the proceedings. I assume there would be no objection. After all, every trial in this country is conducted under the auspices
I think so, yeah.
of Her Majesty, as you know.
You.
I confess, I'm quite impatient to hear Her Majesty's opinion about the unforgivably distasteful trickery in which you've been engaged with over the past 10 years.
No. I was merely...
Oh, so sorry to keep you all waiting. Vicky and I have so much to talk about.
Vicky. Oh, no. Wow. Besties.
We have matching bracelets and tea sets. It's so delightful.
Vicky. That's funny.
Iris, there you are. In fact, I have a little message here from Her Majesty.
A message.
Well then, if everyone is sitting comfortably, is yes. Forthwith and with immediate effect, all authority previously afforded to Male Strongheart is hereby revoked evermore.
Oh.
Furthermore, he will be prosecuted for crimes against his country in a public trial by jury in the coming days.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
Public trial. So she's gonna let it all go.
She's gonna be like, what do you think, the
Let it
people?
all out.
So, it seems that Her Majesty doesn't believe we need to fight fire with fire. Justice in this country needn't be administered from the shadows at all.
Male Strongheart. The darkness you fostered to conceal your despicable actions these last 10 years is a thing of the past now. Pikes. Yes, Queen, slay. So good.
Literally, male, slay him.
After today, your brand of law and order has no future, because no longer are you the Lord Chief Justice. In the eyes of the law and Her Majesty the Queen, you are nothing but a criminal.
What's criminals no one like my impression.
Adjourned! 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 Court is adjourned!
That was dramatic as fuck.
Ooh, is it gonna break? Oh shit!
Oh!
Oh!
Oh! And this is to go even
Oh.
further beyond.
Oh no, is it gonna crush him? Oh shit!
Oh,
Oh
shit!
shit.
Oh, no!
Oh!
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Okay, good. Thank
Oh no, it's not over yet.
Oh,
Oh! Oh! Wow!
Okay. Yo, that
That's
shit was
amazing.
fire.
Yeah.
Wow. That was like a freaking finisher of like an all-out attack, or like
That was cool.
the entrance of a freaking cantor or something. Lord Klink von Zeeks left a will in which he has confessed to everything. When those words came out of Asoki's mouth, It deranged me completely. I knew I must do anything and everything in my power to contain the situation. But I couldn't find the damn document. I searched his cell, but it wasn't there.
Which precipitated the jailbreak plot, I presume.
What do you mean? The need to obtain that will was all-consuming. I was sure that I facilitated Sogi's escape so he would emerge with the will somewhere on his person. But despite searching his limp body in the cemetery that night, it still eluded me. It never even crossed my mind that it was concealed in the sword's hilt.
What pains me now is that my brother left here this world without a word to me.
I'm sorry, Lord Von Zeeks.
In point of fact, I think perhaps that isn't the case.
Sorry? What?
How can that be?
There is more to his last will and testament.
There it is.
What?
As I confront the prospect of my demise,
I feel bitter regret for my younger brother. Barak, you have always looked up to me, and now you follow in my footsteps to become a prosecutor. It is my fervent wish that my unspeakable deeds should not hinder your advancement. I ask not for understanding, for none could understand my depravity. I ask only for forgiveness.
Isoki is a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final 2 wishes. The first is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit to paper. I have confessed my sins to my wife. May she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend, I rest my quill. Clint Von Zeeks.
Clint.
Male Strongheart, you colluded with Seishiro Jigoku in a criminal plot so immense it spanned the oceans. And you cold-heartedly murdered all of those who knew the truth about what happened 10 years ago. But why did you set about that now, a whole decade later? To ascend to the very peak. These last 10 years made me realize being the Lord Chief Justice wasn't enough. Short of becoming Her Majesty's Attorney General, I could have no real power to effect the changes needed in this country. And for that promotion, I needed to ensure that no remnants of the past remained.
How could you?
I like everything to run smoothly, in the exact manner that I prescribe, like a well-oiled machine. And I was just a step away.
And for your ambition to succeed, did you even bother to count the number of brilliant people you had killed?
Ah, Mr. Reaper, are you not forgetting something?
Such as?
You very much adopted your usual prosecutor-like demeanor in the proceedings now. But the reality of the situation is that you are the defendant in this trial. However, the presiding judge would appear to have fallen from the bench, as it were. Hey!
Christmas came early.
May I suggest, therefore, that we entrust the final adjudication to an old friend?
My lord.
As a member of the judiciary, I have the following proceeding. I've been following the proceedings from the gallery. And I must say, I shan't ever forget the extraordinary battle between good and evil that I witnessed here today.
We lost chat.
What a familiar sound. The darkness that has blighted justice in our land these last 10 years has been at last dispelled. Thanks, in no small part, to the efforts of a bright young star from the east. Defense Counsel Naruhodo.
Yes, my lord.
On behalf of everyone present here in the Old Bailey, I give you my heartfelt thanks.
You're too kind, my lord.
The first time I faced you in court, just under a year ago now, I had the faintest of intimations that if British justice, so warped and twisted over its long history, is finally to know change, this just might be the man to do it.
What?
But at the time, I wouldn't allow myself to acknowledge the possibility. I couldn't overcome my hatred of the Japanese after the circumstances of my brother's death. Mr. Naruhodo, allow me to apologize for the countless discourtesies on my part. You are a lawyer of boundless talent.
Aww.
He called us Mr. Naruhodo.
Lord Von Zeeks!
When I first arrived in Great Britain, I was literally a nobody. Certainly not a lawyer. The truth is, my fortunes have been entirely made by the miraculous people I've met. My best friend Kazuma Asogi, who led me here to Britain in the first place. My loyal and ever-patient judicial assistant, Miss Sasato, who helped me study to become a lawyer. The brilliant Lord Von Zeeks, who never failed to challenge his Nipponese rival. And not to mention, the exceptional master of logic and reasoning, who showed me the true art of deduction, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, well. And also, Lord Von Zeeks, thank you for holding all those L's. They must be really heavy.
Saving the best for last, Mr. Naruhodo. What a relief. Oh.
And also, Iris, you're awesome. Yeah. I'm well aware that without all these people's help and support, I wouldn't be where I am today. The truth is a guiding light that always leads to happiness. I've lived by that principle for a long time now, but actually, it's not true. The truth can also cause great pain, sometimes even leave people on the brink of despair.
And for that reason, there are those who feel the need to hide the truth, who do it instinctively even.
But as soon as we allow our eyes to settle on something other than the truth, the darkness takes hold. And from there it grows, until eventually, it makes us blind to the guiding light of the truth altogether. So that's why it's my belief that we must all resolve never to avert our eyes from what is just and true. So that we can continue to walk the straight and narrow path ahead.
Well, I must excuse myself now. But before I go, Mr. Naruhodo, let me compliment you on your grand opus.
What?
Without your beautifully composed case against Lord Strongheart, Her Majesty would have been unable to act. Thanks to you and your fellows, the haunting undertones corrupting Britain's justice system have been silenced.
Thank you very much.
So, until our paths cross again somewhere.
Well then, it would appear that this long trial has finally come to an end.
My apologies for any anxiety caused, my lord.
I'm quite sure we shall meet again here in the courtroom before long. Prosecutor Barak von Zieks. In conclusion of these proceedings, I hereby declare the defendant Barak von Zieks not guilty.
Woo! Confetti! Inside fireworks!
So dangerous.
So dangerous.
The confetti's on fire, now I am on fire.
It's raining fire. Again.
That is all. Court is adjourned. Whew. Sorry. Well, yeah, that was awesome. And thank you guys for being so patient. We have
Yes.
some things to play.
Some things to play.
So Strongheart basically pulled a Palpatine.
Yeah.
Come on, Shigogo. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. You can do it.
You can
Do it. Do dabba dee dabba do it.
Pikes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I kind of got that parallel too when I was like, is that how justice dies? The thunderous applause. We had a Lord of the Rings and a Star Wars reference. It's fitting up in NyanCave.
Strongheart, I sleep quite soundly, knowing that I've made London safer for the common man through my efforts.
Oh, damn. Well, that's your opinion. Thanks, Dura.
Thank you.
Nyan, you forgot the most important one. All three I toss and turn till I go to sleep. Smiley face.
Oh, that I forgot. I forgot the random movement sleeping.
Yeah, in reference to which way do you
Which
sleep?
way do you sleep? Side
Lilia.
sleepers are apparently the overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Seeing Kazuma admit that Zanziks was set up not just as the defendant, but Strongheart's puppet as the Reaper for years. Feels good, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool.
Thanks, Alpha.
Thank you.
So, we can guess who Strongheart's descendant is.
Maybe. God, I can't remember his name though.
We
I only
should-
saw it
Hey.
because chat talked about it a lot. Damon
really?
Gant.
Ah,
Game.
My
Was that
good
the
friend
one-
Damon Gant.
was that the one I gave the very similar voice to?
Yes.
Ah, good.
Who was also a schmecky dad.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Do you require assistance?
Oh, Mooses won't play, actually.
Mooses won't.
Mooses, thank you.
Conversion messed it up.
Yeah, blackmail was not a crime back then yet, so... Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
I think it's Meekins.
Who likes sleep?
Go to sleep! Glory to NyanCave for 52 months!
2 months.
Wow.
That's... You've seen some shit, my
You've
friend.
seen
Yeah.
some shit. And as always, if you're a Glory in NyanCave and you want to update your cutout, send me a DM.
Send a little D.
Watching this number go up each month makes me really happy. It has been part of the lovely community for so long, while also reminding me of the unrelenting march of time. Yes.
Yes.
It is something we talk about.
know.
Nyan Lol, Nyan Sweat. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Did I say Damon Gant? Obviously, he's the great grandpappy of Meekins.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, chat saying Meekins.
Oh, jeez, guys. Oh, God, what is going on here?
You simply
Adam.
couldn't ask for a better Ace Attorney climax. Great pursuit, the resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Time's up, male Strongheart. You lose.
Damn,
You
Adam!
lose.
Thank you. Yeah, the soundtrack in this game is 10 out of 10. 11 out of 10. It was amazing.
This game is just good.
It facilitates all the tingles in all the right places.
Absolutely.
Herlock hologram? Hologram.
Hologram. That's funny.
Harley produced a hurlogram.
Yes, it's time for the hologram. I also like how we didn't see Queen
The
Victoria.
Queen
right?
already
I was
has
hoping.
more subscribers than the NyanCave.
And I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
But we can combat the Queen by liking this video, please, for the love of God.
Right.
We're in a pissing
If-
contest with the Queen.
If
Yeah.
this stream gets 5,000 likes, we'll fight the Queen.
Oh, shit.
YouTuber
or at least-
boxing.
or at least challenge her
Yeah.
directly via Twitter.
Yes.
Queen
Ooh.
of Britain, I have
Might be a
seen
crime
the
here.
ongoing proceedings and I have decided that you Lord Strong, Fart, are quite cringe and therefore cancelled.
Hey, Monodude.
Thank you.
Just a couple more and.
Lord Strongheart is literally Damon Gant from AA15 scaled up from the district level to the country level, high speed clapping and all.
Yeah.
High-speed
Thank
clapping.
you.
That was one of my favorite songs from Twiwi.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about a trial by fire. Know what I mean?
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was awesome. I love that. Like, the guy had like 3 breakdowns. I was like, oh, this is
know.
it. Nope.
I
Oh, this is it.
know.
Oh, no. But then the last one, I was like, okay. All right. This is it. I wish I held back a little bit in the other ones.
I'm so proud of my daughter Maria.
Movies! There is a door that was missed.
Oh.
Would you like me to play it?
Yeah, sure.
Or is that too much information?
I don't know. I do want to keep the talk of like other
Other
stories
games
to a minimum. Yeah.
Okay, well then let's not.
Yeah, the Damon Gant thing was hard. But Dora, thank you. But
Thank
I
you.
do want to let the other games slide by because I'm sure that not everyone has played all of them. So
There's a lot.
yeah,
And they're all good in their own ways.
I do want to keep the topic to this one.
Despite the theatrics to an almost unbelievable degree,
Yeah.
Sholmes is constantly coming in clutch. MVP award goes to.
For sure. Thank you.
Yep,
Okay, I
this
got
is
one more.
undoubtedly one of the greatest Ace Attorney games and final cases ever made.
Yeah, 100.
Very glad that I have the honor to watch it with you.
Aww.
Lord Jedi.
No, thank you all of you. It's been amazing. Oh, and we're playing Amori after too, if that has your interest. The event's up. The stream will send you there after if you want to set a reminder. It should be a good story as well. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard
Me
that
neither.
there are many court proceedings as well. Probably.
Perfect! My favorite.
And also
Dominic! 45 months, thank you. And so this fantastic story finally starts to unwind. A true classic. Absolutely. It's
Crazy.
beautiful. Yeah, and I can see why, you guys like it so much. So thank you.
Thanks.
It really is all over. But did I sacrifice too much?
Mr. Naruhodo, I really must congratulate you. It was a truly, truly splendid performance. Honestly, I couldn't be happier for you.
Oh, thank you very much. But I really couldn't have done it without you at my side through it all, Mrs. Sato. I probably would have actually broken my own neck if you hadn't stopped me.
Just for you guys, I don't know if you saw in chat, but apparently there's about an hour left of game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I'm not extremely surprised with it's got to be all the ending stuff.
So I don't know what you want to do about that.
Oh, an hour? I saw 20 minutes. Classic.
Oh,
Maybe we just keep going a bit.
your kind words mean so much to me.
It was a very splendid show, that Naruhodo.
But yeah, I don't think we'll be doing the escapades.
I'd have thought you'd be smiling from ear to ear, but you look rather glum.
Well, of course I'm delighted about the verdict. But in exposing the truth, I'm afraid I've caused my client a great deal of pain. I'm really not sure what a lawyer ought to be doing.
Oh well, in that case, I'm quite sure that when you see Lord Von Zeke's smiling face, everything will seem so much better. It's beautiful.
Mrs. Sato? Everything seems worse. He has a face like thunder.
Oh dear, I really shouldn't have presumed.
Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes?
almost a year it's been now since I first encountered you here in this very courthouse. For you to have risen to the level of excellence you demonstrated today, well, it's quite remarkable.
But I exposed the most unpalatable truth you could ever have imagined in court today. I feel as though I've robbed you of something you held so dear.
What was it he said? To fight those who dwell in the darkness requires at least some of us to occupy the darkness ourselves. But that was just a feeble excuse of a coward. Only those with a steadfast eye for the truth have what it takes to fight the darkness, force of crime. You made fine work of establishing that fact in court today.
Aw. Oh. Well, thank you.
What magnanimous words! I'm quite sure that Kazuma-sama would have a smile on his face this very moment if he were here.
Hey, Sandra. Kazuma. Well.
Wrong.
Miss Sato? There's another face like thunder here.
Oh my! And he really was here.
Lord Von Zeeks, allow me to congratulate you on your acquittal.
Congratulate me, or curse me. You failed to bring down the Reaper.
I owe you an apology.
No, it is I who should apologize.
Aw.
Your father, Kenshin. If I had been stronger, then perhaps. I made an unforgivable error in judgment. I can offer no excuse.
And I can offer no forgiveness.
Oh!
That said, I suppose you fought for justice and truth. For that, at least, I can't withhold respect.
Your words mean more to me than you could know. I will hold it dear.
Kazuma-sama!
I must say, there's one thing that's still bothering me.
And what's that?
The will that Lord Clint Von Zeeks wrote before his duel with my father. Asogi is a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final 2 wishes. The first is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit to paper. I have confessed my sins to my wife, and may she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend, I rest my quill. Clint Von Zeeks. What can the second of his final wishes have been?
That your father agreed to honor, you mean?
I think perhaps.
Oh.
It's usually one of the two.
I know, right?
Oh, I think I may be able to shed some light on that.
He
What?
takes off his mask, and it's frickin' Von Zeeks' wife.
It was 10 years ago, as you know, the day before the execution was scheduled. I went to the prison to say my farewells to Genshin. Why aren't you putting up more of a fight, Genshin? If you'd only agree to it, Seishiro, and I would gladly petition the government.
We've been through this already. You don't need to worry about me. Anyway, Yushin, I have a favor to ask of you. Something of great importance.
Papa Von Zeeks. You're one of my greatest friends, Genshin. Whatever it is, consider it done.
I'm going to tell you an address. I need you to go there at once. In secret, and telling no one. You should find a lady of the gentry hiding there.
Lady of the Gentry.
She's not in a good way, and she's with child. The birth is imminent. As a medical man, I'd like you to attend to her. Please. You're her only hope.
By any chance, is the child yours, Genshin?
Don't be daft.
Don't be daft!
It's a favor that was asked of me by a man I knew. as his dying wish.
My goodness.
Oh, damn! I swore to the man that I would help, and that I would do whatever I could for his wife and his unborn child. But if something should happen to him, I need to ask you that same favor. You're the only person I know that I can truly rely on.
What did you say? If something would happen to you, tomorrow night, you're going to be...
Wink? You never know, though, do you? What life will bring.
He feels so cocky at this moment. I feel so bad for him. He doesn't know.
No. All right, then. Tell me the address.
Like, yes, absolutely, he's cocky, but he's also telling his best friend to do this thing just in case
Just
he
in
dies.
case, right?
So he doesn't have absolute
No,
confidence.
no, yeah.
Enough to laugh, but not enough to leave things without a backup.
Yeah.
I'll head there at once with Cicero and...
No, not with him.
Pardon?
This is a favor I'm asking of you, and only you, Yushin.
Right. I see. Very well, then.
What are you gonna do? Shoot me?
That very night, I caught a train from Paddington to Dartmoor in Devon. I found the old house in the middle of nowhere. It was an old hunting hound lay asleep in the grounds.
Oh.
The poor woman was on the floor at the back of a darkened room. She was in mortal danger. I broke her waters to precipitate the labor before she weakened further, but it was a torturous birth.
Oh.
I did everything humanly possible for her and her child.
Think she's gonna come out with pink hair?
Oh.
And in the end, I was lucky enough to welcome a new life into the world. But tragically, my efforts to save the mother's life were in vain. I held the healthy newborn girl in my arms and wept for longer than I care to remember. Eventually, in something of a daze, I looked around the room. There was precious little in it, but an old travel trunk caught my eye. It had clearly been well looked after over the years, made of top-quality leather with fine stitching. But it was when I saw the emblem on the side of it that everything dropped into place.
Not the baby, I hope.
B for Baskerville.
Baskerville?
You mean the woman was the wife of Lord Clint von Zeeks?
That's right. The newborn was his daughter. But that makes no sense. Why on earth would Clint have entrusted the child to my care?
Why wouldn't?
Why wouldn't have Clint entrusted the child to my care in that case? I was completely unaware that he even had a daughter.
Because Strongheart would have threatened to kill her if he did.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose he didn't really have any choice.
What?
Well, your brother said that he'd confessed everything to his wife, so she must have been beside herself with worry for her child. If the true identity of the professor were to ever be made public, the girl would be forever branded as the daughter of an infamous mass murderer.
Ugh!
So the only solution was to distance the young girl from the Von Zeeks family as much as possible.
I don't believe it. I imagine that in his final hour, Lord Clint von Zeeks made the obvious choice. He would have thought to himself, this Japanese man here is someone I can trust. I honored my promise to Genshin, of course. However, only a month later, I was summoned back to Japan, and without disclosing the parentage of the child, I couldn't obtain permission to take her with me. Oh!
Oh, how awful.
I was completely at a loss. In the end, I had to ask my great friend. I asked him if he would be a father to her.
That being Mr. Sholmes, I presume.
Yes. He took one look in my eyes and agreed to it on the spot.
Mr. Sholmes. He has a heart of gold.
Really. All it can be said that I did for the child was to give her a name.
Oh,
When I'd come to Britain, I was trying to escape from the grief of losing my darling wife. So it was her name I gave the little girl.
aww. Your wife's name, Professor Mikotoba. In other words,
The name of my mother. Ayame Mikotoba.
oh,
That's right. Ayame, or in English, Iris.
Iris.
I had no idea.
That's the sound of it all
Ow!
coming together.
Mr. Naruto, what's wrong?
This little thing just pinched me through my trouser. Hard. Pocket.
Aha, my dear fellows. Can you hear me?
I can feel you!
That is disturbing.
Mr. Sholmes, is that you? Ow! Yes, we can hear you.
You don't like it much when it's you, is it? Eh? You see what excessive tugging can do? Let that be a lesson to
Just
you.
don't do it 3 times.
Let that be a lesson to you, Chad.
Mr. Sholmes, we weren't able to thank you properly before, but you were simply marvelous. Your checkmate move was a stroke of genius.
Indeed it was, wasn't it? I surpassed myself, I feel. It had become apparent to me that to stop Lord Chief Justice, to stop the Lord Chief Injustice would require such measure.
Bruno! Susie!
Oh, Iris.
Oh, I'm so pleased. What a wonderful outcome. Her Majesty the Queen Vicky said she thought my special blend was delicious.
Oh, I'm sure she did. After all, no one brews a more delicious tea than you do, Iris.
Let's have a party to celebrate. And Mr. Reaper, you must simply come too.
I'm afraid I couldn't.
The Reaper of the Bailey, flustered by a 10-year-old girl. Again.
No, really? Oh, pooh.
But I give you my word that I shall present myself at your residence in the near future to express my gratitude.
Oh, how lovely. You've promised now. I won't let you forget. Bye for now, then.
All right, Iris. Thank you for all your help earlier.
Oh, it was nothing. Just come back home soon.
Ow! One final pinch goodbye, was it?
Well, I think I ought to be leaving.
And, are we cool finishing it? Like another 30, 40 minutes or so, guys?
Yeah, baby.
Because we have Monster Camp 2. I'm going to play with you guys after.
Monster Prom?
It's Monster Prom 2.
Oh, it's
Monster
called Monster
Camp.
Camp.
It's
Oh,
called
that makes
Monster Camp.
sense.
Yeah.
So fun.
It's cool with you?
Yeah, I'm fading, and I have food on the way.
Yeah.
But we'll make it through.
Okay.
The breakdowns for most of these 2 games had been disappointingly subdued compared to DD and Soji's, but that last one more than makes up for it.
Hey,
Yeah,
Suzu! Hell yeah, that was epic.
On the topic of motion capture, Van
Yes.
Zeeks was played by the beautifully handsome actress Shu Shiatsuki, a Takarazuka troupe member 1/3. The Takarazuka Review is an all-woman musical theatre troupe. They did Ace Attorney musicals, which is how director
Oh.
Shu Takumi met them 2/3.
That's so cool.
Lastly, It was great to experience another AA game with all two. No wait, wow, all three of you here. Thank you guys for doing what you do. Heart.
Aw,
Miles!
thanks for being here, Miles.
Thank you, Miles.
Thanks for supporting what we do. Oh, whoopsies.
Need me to do cupcake?
No, no. Okay.
With that huge torrent of fire, it's a good thing everything in the court is made of. Wait, wood? How are we not all dead?
Hologram fire. Thanks, everyone.
Lord Von Zeeks, would you care to accompany me?
Certainly. Mr. Naruhodo, allow me once again to express my deep gratitude to you. I believe you saved my life.
Wait, Lord Von Zeeks!
Yes.
What are you intending to do now?
Well, clearly I shall have to resign from the prosecutor's office.
No, I think the judge very clearly said, I'll see you soon. In court, as a prosecutor.
Oh
I intend to publicize the full truth about the professor case. Once that is done, the Von Zeeks family will be ostracized completely from London society.
no! Surely not!
So, as soon as I am free from my employment, I shall leave the capital.
Oh, I see. Don't be a fool.
Don't be a fool. Are those the actions of a man once feared as the mighty Reaper of the Bailey?
I beg your pardon.
Calling you a little wuss. For the past 10 years, you've endured that pseudonym and have been cast as one of the dark forces yourself. Now that you've finally been freed from that disrepute, your battle is just beginning, surely.
Well, I certainly never expected to hear those words from your lips.
I waited a very long time to come to London. Now I'm properly here. I intend to learn all that I can. Anyway, goodbye for now. Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Kazuma Sogi. It seems as though he's really matured suddenly.
He's not the only one who's matured, Mr. Naruhodo.
Huh?
Well, I think we should make our way back to Baker Street. We must help Iris with tonight's dinner.
We must!
I have to go
Aww.
to the bathroom and refill my water so bad.
Yeah, go for it.
That last pinch
Mano
wasn't
Doof.
hairlock. That was me, Runo.
Monodoof!
Thank you.
Why wouldn't my brother give me his newborn daughter, he said, surrounded by shards of broken glass and wine bottles.
Cupcake! Thank you.
Thank you.
Not exactly child friendly.
No, no.
The secret has changed
Game.
from Iris. Your father is dead to Iris. Your father is a dead serial killer. Yay for progress.
But he's a noble.
Yes.
And, I mean, seems like she's besties with the queen now, so there's that.
yeah, she's got that going for her. For sure. That's really funny.
Shomes raising baby
Zeb.
Iris. I don't understand. All of my grand deductions have failed me.
Aw.
Why are you still crying?
Yeah. That must have been. Oh.
Having
so
a
hard.
baby. That's tough.
Yeah. I think that Herlock is was a really, like, great character,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
you know, through the whole thing. I don't know enough about, like, the actual other one.
Yes.
To compare, but it feels like Herlock was his own thing, adjacent, you know?
Yeah.
Where, like, maybe, but not really, but also, you know?
Overtime is fair for one last Ace Attorney, hurrah.
Hurrah!
Hoorah!
I was gonna wait for you, but
catapulting cupcakes. Iris Van Zeeks. Wait, she's a Van Zeeks? That is, Barack Van Zeek's niece?
Yeah.
I'm flipping out.
Yeah, definitely didn't see that one coming, and that's sweet. I'm glad that Von Zeeks has a little bit of family left, because I was like, man, why didn't we ever see Clint's wife? And then it was like, oh, oof, I see. Yeah, he lost so much in that moment. That's rough.
Oh yeah, his perception of his brother. Cheers. Yogurt. Ooh, yogurt and Gogurt.
I will be right back.
Oh, it's just me. Everybody, y'all. This is wild. What a time. What a time we've had. This game's so good. I was talking to Nyan before the stream started, and it was just so neat that because the original 3 games had such magic because it was so new feeling, and for them to come with these last 2 games and kind of reinvent it in a fun way where I had my versions subbed so many times. Wait, I've subverted expectations happened so many times. The amount of times I was wrong, I was like, damn, every time I'm wrong, what a good game. If I'm right, that's also real cool. I'm like, yo, that's dope too. No more uterus facts other than I've thought more about the Contra mod, contraception.
Okay, tell me more about this.
Yeah, and I feel like we should be the egg rejecting sperm in a side-scrolling shooter. Wow, there is contraception.
Even though I wasn't here a lot because I was finishing my own DGS
RJ!
journey, I applaud the voice acting you all 3 put into this game.
Oh.
Huff.
Pleasure.
Voice over acting.
That being said, you all 3 need the
Yes.
good hydrations.
Thank
and
you.
Tom, it was lovely seeing you again. Till next time, buddy.
Aw. RJ, thank you.
RJ!
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird, man.
This is definitely the best possible way we could have experienced this game with you guys, so thank
I
you.
think
100%.
so. I really love
Yeah.
that we got to do this all together.
It was then that I came to an important decision about my future. Oh yeah, right, the favor. We're supposed to go back to Japan.
Right.
The 4th of November, 6:25 p.m. Sholmes' suite. I'm home! Oh god! Ah!
About time you got here. I'm waiting ages, Otto.
What are you doing with that colorful piece of history?
It's a party, innit? Gonna go off with a bang. I mean, fireworks ideally. But when you ain't got fire, smoke's the best thing, ain't it? Next best thing.
There's a girl on Fresno Street who could help you with that, I think.
Ooh, friends.
Right, I'll remember that.
You don't have to reload that thing every time I speak.
You really must hear this. It's quite the most extraordinary thing. I assure you, it will defy your expectations. Take down every detail now, Mikotoba.
Ah, the world-famous great detective, regaling his partner with the tale of his adventure. A sight to behold.
Would you care to hazard a guess? Where do you suppose the fiendish runaway had concealed himself, Would you believe? Inside the trunk I found abandoned in his cabin? Eh? Huh?
I would believe it, yes.
Oh. I say, Mikotoba, I detect a hint, not a hint of surprise.
I wonder why that is. Maybe because I was there at the scene as well, Sean.
I was there.
What? You were? Then why the deuce didn't you say there before?
Not quite the sight I was expecting to behold, but still. It's hard not to feel privileged to see it. Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Professor Mikotoba. I'm finally back from the Bailey.
And not a moment too soon. Our feast prepared by Iris and Miss Susato awaits.
I must say, I haven't seen Susato looking so happy in quite a long time.
Oh, Runo, there you are. Dinner is on the table, everyone. Please, come to have a seat. Time to fill me boots.
No, Gina, boots are for drinking.
Ew.
What, you never had a shoey?
Never.
A little shoey?
Never.
Shoeys.
Because I'm not disgusting.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Goodness. Is that really true, Gina? Yup. I'm losing me copper's clobber and going back to what I know's best. It's a diver's life for me.
What?
You're really leaving the police force? But why, Ginny?
Well, the boss ain't around no more, so...
Oh,
And anyway, no matter how hard I try, Reaper's ain't never gonna accept a diver turned dick, is he?
well, people can change, you know.
Ah, yes. That reminds me. I rather thoughtfully offered to retrieve the bailiff of this now defunct piece of evidence.
It's the inspector's pocket watch. And the crown has been reattached.
This is the good old classic. Good old classic.
That watch was his pride and joy, a symbol of his great achievements at Scotland Yard. For 10 years, without fail, he's measured every second of the man's remarkable career.
Oh.
But now, it's stopped.
Oh. Someone needs to keep the memory of Inspector Gregson's career alive by taking on the great responsibility of winding that watch every single day again.
Yes! Someone with an equally fierce detective spirit. It's gotta be me! There ain't no one else! Quite right. I mean, after all, the boss was... Well, he was my boss!
Yes, Ginny. Yes, he was.
Oh yeah, and I made you a promise and all, didn't I, Iris? I'd become a proper detective one day and track down your old man.
Oh.
Alright then, it's decided. I'll do it, and I swear. I'll find your dad, and I'll bring him here kicking and screaming.
I'm not entirely sure that would be appropriate.
Yes, I think, Gina, it might be best to, well...
I think I'd like you to forget that promise, Ginny.
Oh. Iris?
Well, obviously I've always wondered about who my real daddy is. Of course I have. I wanted to know where I've come from. I thought they might tell me about something about myself. But I've caused a lot of trouble trying to find out. For so many people. Hurley, Bruno, Professor Mickey.
Oh, no, not at all, my dear. Really, you owe no apology to anyone.
Oh, anyway, I've decided to give up on it. Because I finally realized my daddy is the greatest in the world.
Aww.
I don't think it matters what his name was or where he's from.
Oh, I thought you meant Sholmes.
Oh, yeah, so did I.
I know.
Don't you agree, Hurley?
Yeah.
Ah.
With every word, Iris.
Thank you, Hurley.
Oh.
Thank you, Daddy.
Oh no!
I know, right?
I think, Mikatoba,
Yes, Sholmes.
I think that I ought to express my gratitude to you.
Aw.
Oh?
For 6 years, you and I solved many a mystery together. And during that time, I remember countless expressions of gratitude for our good services. But a moment ago, I had the most pleasing expression of gratitude of them all.
Aw.
And I should never have experienced it. Were it not for you.
You old softy, Sholmes. But I must confess, it's a weight off my mind to hear you say it.
Well then, I think this calls for a lengthy violin recital, wouldn't you say?
Oh, well, the food would go cold. That's the only problem. Maybe next week, Hurley?
Are you sure a week is long enough, Iris?
Even amidst the most troubling of cases, even reeling from the most shocking of revelations, returning in the evening to this suite of rooms, there's always warmth and happiness to be had. The home of the world's greatest detective, and my home too, with my greatest family. The Daruma!
We're gonna dot that I, baby.
This attic room has been my home and office for almost a year now. I've certainly had some unforgettable experiences whilst I've lived here. But I think now, the time has come. Time to bid this place farewell.
Naruto.
Nope, not this time.
Naruto,
Oh, Professor!
are you alone? I didn't hear any sound from Susato's room.
Yes, Susato-san went out after dinner. She took a carriage. Something about an important matter she needed to take care of.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Ah, I see. I wanted to thank you for what you did earlier.
Oh?
With Iris, I mean. When the subject of her father came up.
Lord Clint von Zeeks.
I made up my mind many years ago never to tell her who her father really was. It's what we agreed with Genshin after all.
Lord Clint von Zeeks' final wishes before he died, you mean?
Yes. I've had to take some rather drastic steps at times to protect that secret, you know. Calling Susato back to Japan 6 months ago, for example.
Huh? That's why?
When I read Sasaki-san's report about his final days in London, my heart nearly stopped. You had stumbled across the crux of that terrible case, a dog's collar. The description of the Baskerville insignia left me in no doubt.
Baskerville.
If you decided to investigate that insignia sooner or later, you'd have made the connection with the Von Zeeks. And to make matters worse, Susato knew of the unpublished story as well. The story that Iris had written based on my notes from that time.
Oh, yes. The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Exactly. It was a work of fiction, but based on the grim reality of a huge beast of a dog being used as a murder weapon. A dog with a Baskerville family emblem around its neck. Armed with those two clues, I feared you and Susato might arrive at the truth. So I invented that story about having collapsed to justify her leaving London and returning to Japan at once.
He hit the life alert button.
I know, I was gonna make a life alert joke too.
All in aid of halting any investigations you and she might have been contemplating.
I see. Something I've never understood is why Susato-san came across that manuscript in Japan, though. You know, Iris's The Hound of the Baskerville story, I mean.
Sholmes sent it to me. That was before Susato left Japan. He was very troubled about what should be done about it, you see. I read it and carelessly left it on my desk, which is where Susato came across it, of course.
Ah,
It was the only case Sholmes and I ever pursued that I didn't record in meticulous detail. I was stunned when I discovered that young Iris had pieced together so much of it from that paltry notes. Sholmes and I discussed the matter and decided that we couldn't allow the story's publication. At that point, I returned the manuscript by post to Sholmes for safekeeping.
so you did all that to stop Iris from finding out the truth about her father.
That's right, because Sholmes had told me how astute she'd become. However, having witnessed events in court today, I must say my opinion has somewhat shifted.
Oh?
I think at some point in the future, the time will come for Iris to know the truth. And when it does, well, I believe it would be for the best.
I think so too. Actually, Professor, I wanted to talk to you about something too.
Judging from that expression, I'd say you've come to a decision, have you?
Yes, I have. I will be returning with you to Japan.
Are you quite sure?
I'm really only here as a substitute for Kazuma, but he's here in Britain now, as originally intended. Locum student Naruhodo doesn't really have the right to stay, I think.
I see.
Looking back now, when I first arrived here in February, my becoming a lawyer just seemed to be the way things turned out. With Kazuma, Sasato-san, and Mr. Sholmes all gently pushing me in that direction. I spent the best part of a year immersed in this world, but I've always aware of a seed of doubt inside me. Until today. Standing in that courtroom earlier, all doubts vanished from my mind. I was totally focused. I was sure of my belief in my client, and I was sure I could see the trial through. And at the end of it all, I finally realized no one else chose this path for me. I chose it myself.
The path of a defense lawyer, eh?
Yes, that's what I am now. And that's what I'll be going back to Japan, with you to Japan as. And that's the path I'll be following for the rest of my life.
Well, it sounds like you've made quite a resolution there.
I have.
Very well then. I must say, it's extremely welcome news. I shall make arrangements for your return first thing tomorrow. But I don't imagine we'll depart for a few days.
Not with the symposium having been cancelled now. Such a shame.
Never mind. I'm sure there'll be other opportunities in the future. Well then, I'll bid you good night.
Bum bum bum. Oh, Sasato-san.
I just wanted to let you know that I'm back.
Did you, hear what your father and I were discussing?
I'm sorry. I did, yes. I couldn't help but...
Oh, how much did you hear?
Well... from the part about Iris's real father, I think.
Oh, in other words, from the beginning.
So you've made up your mind. You'll return to Japan and continue working as a defense lawyer.
Yes. I'm sorry. I really should have consulted you about it. I did want to earlier this evening, actually, but you'd already gone out.
Oh no, that's quite all right. I already knew that's what you'd decide, Naruhodo-san.
You did? Oh. Sasato-san?
Yes?
I suppose this means it has to be farewell soon.
I suppose.
You'll be a great help to Kazuma going forward. I mean, I know he's a brilliant lawyer, but he's new to the British courtroom. He'll certainly benefit greatly having a brilliant judicial assistant at his side.
I'll do my very best.
I wish I could say it, but I just can't. I can't ask her to come with me. After all, she was always supposed to be coming to Britain as Kazuma's assistant.
It's growing late.
It's Shovel.
You son of a bitch. We should both try to get some sleep. I'm sure you must be exhausted after today.
Oh, yes. You're right.
Before I retire, let me just say one more time. You really were quite splendid in court today. So if you ask me, anyone who thinks of you as a substitute or a locum should be ashamed of themselves.
Aw, Susato-san. Thank you.
What a nice smile.
November 7th, 5:42 a.m. Port of Dover. So this is the next morning. I can't. No, wait, no. It's like 5 days. 5 days because it was like the second before.
Second or something like that.
Oh, maybe. I can't believe this day's finally come.
You're really leaving then, Runo?
I'm afraid so, Iris. Thank you so much for everything. I don't know what I'll do without your wonderful cooking and delicious tea.
Oh, I wish you weren't going, but you have to come back and visit. Say that you will.
3 days. Of course, I promise. Oh.
Well, it was a very brief reunion, but
That's my food. I have to get
it was a pleasure to pursue a case with you again after so long. For a while, at least, it felt like old times.
Yes. I suppose, on reflection.
We'll wait.
Ow! I suppose.
No.
Yes, I suppose on reflection,
Sorry, something in my throat.
there's something to be said for it. Having a little fun once in a while.
I'll just go and say goodbye to the professor as well, I think.
All right, Iris. You do that. Honk!
They even subtitled the boat.
I know. Honk!
Thank you, Bodhi McBoatface.
Susato-san.
Oh,
I've just checked, Naruhodo-san. Your luggage is already on board.
The boat was voice acted beautifully.
So good.
Such a beautiful morning. Perfect for embarking on a journey, isn't it?
Before I set off, I'd just like to say how thankful I am for everything you've done for me. And give my warmest regards to Kazuma, please.
Actually, I think you ought to give him your regards in person, don't you?
Oh.
Sorry?
Of course.
Ryunosuke.
Oh! So rare.
So rare.
Kazuma! What are you doing here?
Do you really think I'd miss my best friend's departure?
Thanks. To be honest, I'd been looking forward to our wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's capital. But,
Well, we'll have to save that for another time. Personally, I'm looking forward to facing you in court again.
Oh.
Me too. But, we're both defense lawyers, so,
I'm going to become a prosecutor.
Nothing the rules.
I'll stay in Lord Van Zeek's tutelage for the time being, but before long, I intend to be just as formidable as the Reaper himself.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
Actually, Ryunosuke, I have a favor to ask.
Name it.
Oh. No.
No.
I'd like you to take care of this for me for a while. Karma? Why? Because I've seen it now. I've seen what's inside me, the demon that reared its ugly head that day. It was only for the briefest of moments. The last time I came face to face with that inspector. But it was unmistakable. I wanted to kill him. I've always known there are demons that live inside people. And now I know there is one in me. The fact that it very nearly consumed me is something I'll carry with me until the end of my days. While I devote my life to fighting those whose demons have got the better of them. As a prosecutor.
That's really
So-
sweet, actually.
That's what you've resolved to do, is it?
Until I'm ready to face the demon within me. To slay it once and for all. I leave this in your care. If you'll take it.
Of course I will. I'll keep it by my side. Always.
The auto symbol looked like the moon.
Until we meet again,
It
then.
really does.
You have your path to follow, and I have mine.
Naruhodo-san?
Oh, come on.
The path you're going to follow from now on. I wonder if I might follow it at your side.
Oh,
Unless I'd be a burden.
oh no.
What?
Why is she so much stronger than
I
us?
mean, I would very much like you to come with me. But aren't you?
You're so predictable, Runosuke.
I am?
Honestly, you never change at all. But that's what I like about you.
You mean you knew about this?
It was the evening after Lord Van Zeek's trial came to an end.
Ah.
She came to see me at the prosecutor's office.
Really? Oh, when I had that conversation with Professor Mikotoba.
Ah, that's what she was doing.
So, you'd go with Runosuke back to Japan?
Yes. I know it's unfair of me to follow my own interest like this.
Coming here especially to tell me. You're a stickler for etiquette, aren't you? Well, what are his feelings?
We've never discussed it, of course, and Naruhodo-san has made no such suggestion. I worry that perhaps I'd be a burden to him.
Girl. You always know exactly what he's thinking every single time. And you're telling me this is the one time you can't figure it out?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of cute, because now her heart's getting in the way.
Just as much of a stickler for etiquette as you are. He'd never say anything before he was asked. But I'd feel happy knowing you were with him. Look out for him on my behalf, will you?
Aww.
Of course.
There's an ice pack. I need to refreeze my heart.
Aw.
Melting.
Susato-san.
What do you think, Naruhodo-san?
With you by my side, no trial would seem too daunting. So if you're willing, I'd be honored if you'd come with me. Together we can take on the world.
I'm terribly incompetent, but if you'll have me, I'd be delighted.
What?
Oh, no, not at all. If anyone's terribly incompetent, it's me.
What's wrong?
Your luggage, Susato-san. There's no time. The ship's going to set sail any minute now.
It's all ready.
It's all right. There's no need to worry. As it happens, my luggage is already on board too.
Your fine judicial assistant has everything in hand as always, I see.
So good. Wonderful voice acting.
Your ship's about to leave.
Oh.
Her voice is so sweet.
Time to go then. Look after yourself, Ryunosuke.
Cosma, draw your sword.
Oh. Are they gonna touch tips?
We haven't got one.
He just gave us one.
No, we don't have a tip.
Oh no.
One day, when our paths cross, once more, we'll fight a duel of words across the courtroom. A day I eagerly await as a lawyer.
I've been waiting to hear you say that, partner.
The future is just so bright.
Don't forget me then, Kazuma.
Oh.
As if I could,
Right.
Ryunosuke.
And Mr. Sholmes, thank you so much. I'm very much indebted to you.
Indeed, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe you are.
I'll never forget all you've done for me during my time in London.
Quite. I should like to think you will remember your debt of gratitude. Especially when I visit you in your country.
Oh.
The truth is, although many are ignorant of the fact, the world is far smaller than most folk realize.
Sequel
Well,
bait.
I'd be delighted if you came to Japan one day.
Please.
Oh, yes. Would welcome you with open arms, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, that sounds wonderful. I can't wait.
In that case, let us conclude that this is to be merely a brief parting, my dear fellows.
Oh.
And that brings us to the end of my adventures in Great Britain.
Oh my god, for a second I thought it was the Titanic.
Brought me halfway around the world
That
those
had at
many
least
months
4.
ago.
Yeah.
But that was just the start of my journey. Who knows where fate will lead me next? Still, I'm confident this won't be my last meeting with the friends I've made in London. And when we're together again, no doubt the first words I'll hear will be,
Come, the game is afoot.
The ship, with our friends from the east, sailed steadily towards the distant horizon.
Best Irish voice.
But Sholmes's face was alight with joy.
The times may change, but a steadfast friendship will remain true, Wilson. We have but to gently close our eyes, and we are with our companions once more.
That's sweet.
So I do just that. And when I do, I can hear his strong, familiar voice ring out.
Oh, here it comes.
Objection!
It's handwritten and it feels so
we
good.
meet again, Bruno.
That's a good game.
Shoot the Gumi. You know, what a...
That's so sweet.
This is probably like this is I think my game of the year.
Oh, right.
I've
these.
been thoroughly inundated with inquiries about my remote cinematography, but I am no purveyor of electrical goods and what of the promise of close court secrecy. Anyway, I've decided to, an absence from London is in order. A sojourn in distant climes. The Empire of Japan, perhaps. I understand that wardrobe classes incurs no charge whatsoever.
crying. You were crying.
I gave a little note to Hurley the other day. It just said, "Thank you for everything, Daddy." And it made Hurley cry. And I gave him some lotion I'd invented as well, to dye his hair red safely. But he said that it might make him cry too, so he'd rather not use it.
Those days when I was known as the Reaper, I felt your presence at my side. Once, unable to bear the burden of that grim pseudonym, I even retired from the courtroom. Despite everything, I still wear your prosecutor's badge with pride. But the darkness that once beset me is no more, as you too. In the words of a young phone friend of mine, I must drive forward, further and beyond.
Right.
To a bright future.
Oh.
My boss left a note for me, you know, and I can read every letter now. A to Z, the whole lot. It's cleared a load of stuff up. The boss was trying to protect me, see? And that's exactly what me and Chief Inspector Toby here are going to keep doing to Londoners.
Oh.
I only wish I could have said how grateful I was before he, you know.
Gina is my favorite character in this whole
She's very
game.
good.
She just cares so hard.
She learned to read.
She learned to read.
That's not character.
Gina, truth is, I'm not the upstanding fellow you think I was. You might be a diver at heart, but it's a good heart. You reminded me that I need to be true to myself. I've got one more job to take care of before it's tight in London for the town for foreseeable.
One last job.
And then I got to complete your education in the art of deduction a la Gregson, as they say.
Look at that smug face. Oh, I miss him.
I really thought maybe he'd come back and be like, haha,
Right?
clever ruse. I knew you were going to
so,
kill me,
too.
so we faked my death.
Your Excellency, this man is accused of illegal entry at the Office of Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Oh.
Objection! Overstatement overruled! The minister has been detained in Britain anyway!
Who is the catdish counsel that defends the women are forbidden here?
Oh, really? My friend Husarson is in the British courtroom all the time and doing a wonderful job.
Perhaps I should have engaged the services of a regular legal team.
So good.
That's so silly.
So silly.
Mama, is it true about the Japanese people? Are they experts in filleting corpses?
Yes, they are. Fish corpses on the whole.
I'd like to hone my own filleting skills. If you don't mind, do you, Mama?
Yes, I do. I'm not a corpse yet, am I?
No.
She's a real danger.
And I'm glad.
Aww.
What a good ass game, though.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Here I am again in Great Britain on the invitation of my dear old university friend. He sent me a very nice letter saying that he'd like to show me around now that everything was settled. But what have I done? I was so excited. I picked this splendid hotel and now I can't afford the bill. Oh, Barack, come to my rescue again, please. I wish I could just vanish into thin air.
Man, I also kind of like that this game didn't give everything in a positive light. Like it
No.
Clint was the mass murderer.
Yeah.
You know?
Moral gaiety.
When I went to make the required impression of a killer on cemetery, I realized what had happened. But even in the witness stand of the highest crowd in the land, I could never speak of it. The Lord Chief Justice and I struck a bargain, you see. For a faithful reproduction visage, There is nothing we two spells would not do.
This woman knew things.
She knew everything, actually.
Yeah.
Everyone calls me Gossip. I sell jaunty little tidbits of information.
Oh.
Everyone calls me a Peppino, and I sell spaghetti so thin in my hair.
Everyone, they call me. No, I cannot do it. This is ridiculous.
Oh, Daly, how charming. You've made lots of new friends here, I see. Yes, and when we are released, we are going to strike it rich together! Ha ha!
Oh. Oh yeah, these guys did kidnap that guy.
Oh
Or at least
yeah.
restrain him, I guess.
Oh yeah. I was wondering why
Right
they were
side.
together.
Stockholm Syndrome?
Yes.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
When I was accepted on the foreign study tour, I knew exactly what path I had to take. And however it might have ended, I knew that I wanted you there to see it. If I ended up in the dock, there's no one I would have rather have had defending me. But now, thanks to you, there's a new path I want to take. I'm sure we'll meet again in the courtroom, my friend. Until then, I leave Karma in your care.
We're gonna get beef and chicken? Oh.
I've made some tea, Naruto-san. It's important that you rest while you can. Once we arrive in Japan, you shall be busy establishing your new office. I'm so delighted to be accompanying you. After all, your talents have been recognized by the great detective. Because you really are the greatest of lawyers. A great ace attorney, some might say.
Oh! With all the resolve that he has. Back in the wardrobe. Oh, hey, there it is!
There it is!
And the kitty,
That's a
Wagahai.
great picture.
Wagahai! There is...
Hey.
Oh.
What a great photo. I love that Susato is like closed eye. Maybe
She's
crying.
She's wiping away a tear.
Maybe just winking. A little wink at the camera.
Winking, I don't think, was invented yet.
Ah, cheers. That makes sense.
Oh. Oh, I love this.
Yeah, the walking.
Yeah, we had this in the first game.
It's
So
very good.
cute. Oh. I'm gonna play some things. Thank you everyone for your
So
patience.
many things.
It's been on a...
This is so cool.
There she is in her
Yes!
outfit. I did not think they'd go back to that. I wonder if she'll change it part of it.
She does look very handsome, though.
So handsome.
I'd love a new game
Mr.
with Iris
96.
and Uncle Barry.
Hey, yeah, Uncle Barry. That sounds so sweet. Uncle Barry. Oh, thank you, 96.
Looks like I got home just in time for the end of this great game. You guys were amazing as always.
Jose Bonnie, thank
Thanks,
you!
Elmo.
Thank you!
Loves the second just covered in cats.
Victoria died in
Theoden.
January 1901. Not much time for that friendship, I fear.
I mean, you know, that's what everyone says, but who knows? Maybe maybe Iris made like Robot Queen or something.
Right, Robo Queen.
Robo
Transferred
Queen.
her brain, and they're.
Yeah.
I love Iris pointing there.
Oh, what a good photo.
Herlock as seen in this is more like how Herlock Sholmes ended up in the Lupin books. At the start you could tell who it was based off, but eventually became his own character.
Yeah. That's cool. Thanks, Lilia.
Thank you.
So second again.
I love the little cat pose.
Tom, it's been real. It's been
Matt.
fun, and it's been a pleasure to have you back for a while, my guy.
Oh, it's
Thanks
been great
for
to be
playing
back.
this amazing game with us.
Matt!
Love you.
Matt!
Thank you, and
Thank you, Matt.
it's gonna be see you later for you for a little bit, eh?
Yes.
You got some. Thank you for doing this, by
It's
the way.
not a goodbye, but a
pleasure.
brief parting.
Yeah,
Yes, of course.
I know it couldn't have been easy to do this every day.
The
5 days a week.
commute, it was a thing. But my pleasure to experience game.
Piamone!
Nep. Oh, that makes so much sense.
Bimo Nap.
Thank you for being a golden waffle for 2 months.
Thank you.
And this is 20 Canadian.
I just want to say this is my favorite Ace Attorney ever.
Yeah!
Bimo Nap!
Thank you so much.
I think for me too. This is probably one of my favorite Ace Attorney games as well.
Thank you.
Cheers!
Because Sherlock is technically an expressway of Sherlock, I think it allowed them to use his character in ways they wouldn't have been able to otherwise.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, could you imagine having to go through like all the troubles of accurately representing a character in accordance to someone else's whim?
I prefer parody myself.
Hence, no queen.
This game is so full of daddies, I'm gonna cry.
Oh, Kakume!
Yeah.
Yes!
Look at
Yes!
Mikotoba go.
Look at him go!
Oh,
Tippity-tappity.
this guy.
Oh, Seishiro still was so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So big. He's an entire head larger than us.
He's 2 irises, basically.
Yeah.
The
The
slow
slow
clap.
clap.
How are we doing on the fuel wheel?
Little green fly!
Thank
you!
My favorite Ace Attorney. Sad that it's over, but delighted to have been here for these streams. Love you guys so much.
Little green fly, thank you. Are they gonna cross swords? Hell yeah, they are, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot.
We can't be together. You are a prosecutor and I am a defense lawyer. But you will always be in my heart, crying face. And that's what I heard.
Yes.
Anime. Thank you.
So good. Capcom, man.
Yeah.
What a good game.
It's amazing they brought it over, you know. They didn't have to, but they did.
I'm really glad that they did.
No cap. This is Factcom now.
I have to go eat.
Oh yeah, sure.
I've not eaten in many hours, and
Do
I'm
it.
fading really fast.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone, for this. Maybe I'll just wait. Maybe this is the end. I thought we were gonna do more, but maybe this is the end.
Fade to black.
Oh.
Which is French for end.
No.
I know.
What?
I know.
Oh.
Little known facts you learn here.
One final twist.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's some
damn.
really good art.
Oof.
Art.
That's some really good art.
Yeah.
Saving that one for like. Damn, that outfit is tight.
It's so tight. Tight enough, I think.
Absolute blessed art.
Ah, beautiful.
So good.
Thank you so much.
So very good.
Right before you go, I'm just gonna play this one last thing and then.
Freaking yeah!
This has been an amazing journey. I love you guys and I'm so happy watching you guys play.
Oh,
It's been such a breath of fresh air. You guys are amazing people and I'm very happy I found your channel. Waiting for this game to drop for you guys to play, it was worth it.
Damn! Freaking yeah, David Subway Cookies. Thank you so much. That's crazy. And- yeah, you know,
yeah.
We might not have waited, but I'm really glad that we did in the end.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I'm really glad too.
Yeah, it was so much fun to come back to. And you know, I hope that they do more with the series in the future because I'd like to be there. You know.
Me too. I want more of this. More of this, please.
Yeah.
Keep subverting my expectations.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you to everyone, and thanks, Danny.
Thank you.
We're gonna play the rest of it, and then we'll send you.
Okay. Bye. Thank you. I wrote all of them down that I could.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much caught up, I think, except for I ran out of cutouts. So.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And we're doing Omori after this. So if you want to tune in for that, pretty cool.
It was a pleasure to relive it with you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Argo. Thank you so much.
Yes.
It was a pleasure having you all here. And Moses, I'm just gonna leave it. The donation that was there because I think it's cute. Susato and Ryunosuke. So I'm gonna leave that.
Yeah, totally. Ryu and Susato. She's so much stronger than us.
I can't thank you guys enough for playing this game. I'm honored to have experienced it all again with you three. It has been a wonderful journey.
So glad we could.
Brilliant,
So
thank
freaking
you.
glad we could. And also Haiti!
35 months on Twitch. Thank you.
35.
We haven't been on Twitch in a little while, but
Been a minute.
been a minute.
I really love you
Oh,
guys.
Aw.
Thank you for being there with a game which series allowed me to meet you.
Glad.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. You know, yeah, I'm gonna miss this.
Good game, good series, good company.
Thanks, Moses. Yeah. And Sandra! Thanks for being a bigger golden rod for 18 months!
18 months!
Your boy voices are so good. Thank you, Tom, for being here. Also, chat, you're wonderful. I loved it all.
I love that she specified boy voice.
I
Thank
liked your
you.
Two Spells voice a lot.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I was too afraid to do any others.
Oh,
it's
except for Olive. I like doing Olive.
Of course. Yeah, you've got wild and crazy mom voice to always go back to.
Yeah, I got my one default. Please don't give me any other females.
Yeah.
Especially when Nyanny kills it
Yeah, I
every
know,
time.
I
It's
know.
just, it's lovely.
Such range.
Such range.
Is Tom planning to play on join any of the games in the future? Yeah, maybe. No plans per se, but it just depends.
Yeah.
Depends on what it is.
What it is, what comes up.
What it is, what it is.
What it is.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think like the weekend days were certainly easier for me in general because I didn't have work to jump around between. But yeah.
At the very least, maybe we'll get you here for the new Mario Party. Yeah, good time.
Which is not one game. We're playing 8 again.
Oh,
Okay, we're playing
wow.
Mario Party 8 or 7, whiwhichever one it was.
Where
that
you
I
made the mistake.
I made the mistake. Why haven't I forgotten about it? It's been years.
Discuss next stream in mod chat.
Sounds good.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay to do Monster Prom. I don't think I'll full on voice act it, but we'll read it out in a chill and casual setting. I'm more interested in playing the game and seeing what happens. We're gonna be playing Monster Prom after this. I'm gonna grab a short snack, but I'm hoping to start very soon. So yeah, because it's.
Oh yeah, well let's show him to the camera. Maybe we can pin him up at
get some credits. Yeah, let's do that.
We gotta.
Jackbox? I don't know. Monster Prom seems like a good time. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna strong heart it or whatever, but I'll just give a little readout, with a little emotion. Yeah, Monster Prom 2, Monster Camp. It's a fun little multiplayer dating game, dating simulation. Yeah. How about Tom joining the sequel to I? Oh yeah, Haiti, that could very possibly be a thing. I think Tom would enjoy that, wouldn't you?
Oh, freaking I is great.
Yeah, right. It was a good time.
It's so good.
We'll finally make it to a Tommy. Voice,
You
do
did
voices.
it. I'm so proud of you, my dudes. Congratulations on finishing TKK. And wow, I was right about seeing you in a few hours.
Yeah.
Smiley face.
Yeah, it's been a long one, but I'm glad we were able to do it because we do have the Sony showcase, PlayStation showcase tomorrow that we're going to be doing. So we'll not do a 12:30 stream. We'll do a little, maybe start 1 or whatever because I think it starts at 2, and then we'll be finishing The Last of Us after that. So another cool finale probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, you're too kind, Adam. But yeah, most important thing is we just try to have fun, and so we had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. Of course, we're not going anywhere. We'll be around, so you always know where to find us.
Same great place.
Same Nyan
called
place.
the internet.
Same Nyan channel.
And not a goodbye, but a farewell for now.
See you later.
A see you later.
Yeah. A matinee.
A matinee.
Yeah. But that's all from us. And again, I can't thank all of you enough for making this possible. It really isn't possible without you. So thank you. And yeah, I'll see you very soon for Monster Prom, though. I'm just gonna shove something in my mouth, and then we'll be here. Okay?
Yes.
And then I'll shove something else in my mouth. Hey-oh! If I don't end up alone forever.